she does.
Yeah. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Did you do Terry show today? You did?
I don't
Also,
know.
half. I wouldn't pay. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah. Shut up.
Oh, he's not even got a mic on yet. But...
He spent a whole segment bagging on Obama.
Oh, I wasn't producing it.
So guess what? I'm going to do a segment on Obama opening up his center today. Yeah, I would never have this.
The guest he had on with
never. Was who?
The guy that he had on with him.
Yeah.
Was
it really? No, it wasn't. That didn't sound like a brother. Wow.
I think you said he was 10% Native American.
Dude, that's what I heard. I'm glad you told me that because I was about to say, I turned on my radio station, heard a couple of white guys talk about black people. Wow.
And see, and I think that's where it got lost on radio. Is because most people probably just didn't assume it was too.
He should have said something, actually.
So and that's why it was like, I think you need to push that side of it more because that's
the uniqueness of it. That's the whole fucking kit and caboodle.
Well,
Yeah.
Party's birthday, so I'll be this year.
Yeah. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, however you may be listening, or however you may be viewing for those subscribing on YouTube. This is the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1, AM 1230, and we're streaming live at kernradio.com. Chris Burdick is producing the show on this 18th day of June. Another hot one, but temperatures are going to plummet for the weekend. That is good for my golf game, but then we're right back into the three digits next week. Is it August yet? Can I go on vacation? I don't think I'm going to go to Vegas. I think I'm going to go someplace cool. Is it too late to try to book something for Tahoe? I want to go someplace cool. I don't want to, although Vegas is cool, 65 degrees. Everywhere I go, it is 65 degrees. We do have a busy broadcast. We're excited once again. Steve Hilton, the gubernatorial candidate, is joining current radio. He was on with Mr. Flores yesterday. He was on with us about a month ago, and he's back with us again today. We'll talk with him at the bottom of the hour, and I'm going to commend him for doing something that I think Steve Garvey should have done and did not do, and that's banging the Central Valley. If you're a Republican candidate for a statewide office, you have to own Kings, Tulare, Fresno, Kern. I mean, you should be living there. You should have offices set up there and absolutely solidify that base. And then in the 11th hour of the election, come fall, you can go out and try to get moderate Democrats and independents. But at least Mr. Hilton is banging the rich, fertile area of the Central Valley. We'll talk to him at 3:30. And I cannot read my writing. Oh, we've got some more information on the ambulance crasher. Wait till you hear this story. Dude was sitting in the passenger seat doing paperwork when dude jumped in, and then the guy jumped out. Do you fire the guy for jumping out of the ambulance? A suspension, maybe? You don't leave your ambulance. Yeah, you don't. Exactly. Stop this car, man. I'm responsible for this ambulance. Plus, there's somebody in the back. Where was the victim? I guess they were still out on the street on the gurney, but what was he doing in the ambulance if they hadn't put him in the ambulance yet? We got very few details. Yeah, I have no idea. And KGT did a really nice piece that has continued to thrive. This cat custody continues. This cat that, and I didn't do that on purpose, I swear. This guy who worked, past tense, worked at Amazon, and he was delivering a package. And everybody named Mama, except me, has a Ring camera. Actually, I have one, just in case anybody gets any funny ideas. Yeah, I got one. Well, my neighbors do. So if you came to my house, you'd be on there. So it doesn't matter. But anyway, they got him on the camera, stealing these people's cat and insisting that it's his, and that he simply identified his cat and took it. Now, as we talked about yesterday, Orenthal James Simpson, or maybe we talked about Monday, learned that you can't even steal your own stuff. You do know that's why OJ finally went to jail. He was in Vegas for a wedding. He got a tip from some guys, that some thugs that bought or stole some of his SC stuff, some of his NFL stuff, had it at this local hotel locally. So he got a buddy with a gun, and they went over there and barged into the room and stole back his stuff. And the great state of Nevada prosecuted him and sentenced him to 9 years in prison. Kind of a get back. Karma is a B, but you can't do it. So 17, and they didn't even make fun of the fact, and I would have done it. Maybe you don't. But what do you think the reporter's name is? She's a young black girl that I've only seen on the morning show. I really don't watch the 5 and the 6 because that gets the morning show. And if it was important enough to be on the 5 and 6, it's going to be on the morning show. Veronica Catlin. I am not making that up. Don't you have to put that in the script somehow? From one Catlin to another? I don't know. I don't know how you write it, but you got to write that in somehow, some way. From one cat to another. I don't know. But we'll tell you that story. Daniel Petrie will be here at 4:30. We'll talk money. And Jim Park, head pro out of Bakersfield Country Club. Keep an eye out. I think he just teed off about an hour or so ago. Our man, Manav Shah. Okay. That's fine. What do you got? Anything lately? He literally was the last man to tee off in the 126th U.S. Open. All right. Okay. Where are the leaders? At 3, 2, 2? Dude. What's the par? 71 or 72? Oh, look, there's Taylor Arier coming to see her boo. If she doesn't come in here and say hello to her Uncle Ralph, I am not going to be, we're going to call her father. She's already in the building. She's driving that car right there. If she doesn't come in here and say hello to her Uncle Ralph, I will not be a happy man. She better come in here and duck her head in here. At least wait. You better at least come to the glass and wait. My best friend's daughter is dating one of our DJs. I reference him as Shanks. His name is Snacks. And she's up here from LA. So she's up here for the week. Oh, it's Father's weekend. That's why she's up here. Father's Day this Sunday. Is he ready to talk about it? Yeah, I don't want to say it either. Gee! But I'm telling you, I'm going to run out there. If I get up out of this chair, just go to break. Because I'm going to run her down and be like, hello? Hello, I've known you since you were 8 years old. I used to get on a trampoline with you when you were 8 years old. Gonna come in here and hug my neck, girl. Hey, get in here. Get in here. What's going on, girlie? I was just talking trash about you. I said, if that girl doesn't come in here and say hello to me, I will not be happy. That's right. I saw you pull up. You're on YouTube. Or come in here. Come over here. Oh my gosh. Say hi to everybody. Oh, hey, everybody. Taylor Arier, soon to be let me shut up. Anyway, so who are you here to see? Can you see Ralph?
I saw your radio thing was on, and I was like, oh, Ralph's on.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me go say hi.
You got to be excited about the news. We won't say what it is, but you got to be excited about it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You here for the weekend for your pop?
We're gonna have dinner tonight.
Yeah.
And then I go back tomorrow.
Oh, you're not gonna be here for Father's Day? Oh, that
Well, I'm
sucks.
coming today, 'cause I
Okay.
don't work, yeah.
All right.
But
All right, won't hold you up.
say hi.
Thanks for saying hello.
Bye.
I'll see you later. That is Mike's daughter. I take everything back. She's a wonderful young girl. That's right. She was raised well by her father, Mr. Arier, who might be even listening. I doubt it. But that was cool. Yeah. You know, Mike and I almost got in a fight over Taylor Arier. I was moving out and he was cleaning up the stuff. He found a bong in her dollhouse. What? She never came to that. She was like 9. The dollhouse was from like she was 4. It was the one thing in the garage that I knew she would never go near. She was 9 years old. 9-year-olds don't play with dollhouses. It was just a tiny little bing. And I just hid it in one of the bedrooms and totally forgot about it. Moved out. A week after I moved out, hey, Big Ralph, Big Mike here. Hey, Mike, what's going on, man? You forgot something at the house. Really? I double checked. What did I forget? A bong, you moron. What are you talking about? In Taylor's dollhouse. Oh. Sorry. Forgot about that. Yeah, I've noticed that she was 8 years old. I told you, Mike and I lived together for 2 years. Oscar and Felix. Guess who was Oscar? All right, let's get going. We got a big show to get going. We'll talk about the grand opening of the Obama Presidential Center. You will hear from the 44th president. Everybody's talking about Barack Obama. Isn't that funny? 10 years after his service, everybody's talking about Barack Obama. Nobody's talking about George Bush. Nobody's talking about Joe Biden. Everybody's talking about Barack Obama. You want a little unknown facts about Barack Obama? He left office with a 60% approval rating. No white man has done that since. No, really hasn't. No. He is ranked among the top 20 presidents in the history of this country. Just a fact that I didn't rate him there. I'm one of about a dozen black men that never voted for Barack Obama. I'm not saying that. I'm telling you what the Heritage Foundation is writing because they're a very conservative group. They got him 18. Some folks have him as high as 12. But if you listen to this station early enough, you'll hear things like he's implying that he's gay and all kind of nonsense. It's wonders what you'll hear on the radio, isn't it? Quick time out. We're just getting going. Steve Hilton, the next governor of the great state of California, will join us at the bottom of the hour. In the meantime, you're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 AM 1230, and we're streaming live at kernradio.com. Man, it's hot. If I rule the world, love them, baby. Get all the girls. Corey Gonzalez was here today. Chris.
For a while, so call, click, or stop by today. Your free in-home estimate is waiting for you. Carpet Outlet Plus, 3.5 blocks west of 99 on Rosedale Highway.
Chris. Chris Burdick.
Are you craving a mouth-watering sandwich?
Gonzalez was here today.
Then look no further than Caesar's Deli, where they craft some of the best sandwiches in town. Sink your teeth into our signature classic, Caesar's Special, featuring 2 kinds of salami, premium ham, and the irresistible taste of Nona's secret meat sauce. It's a sandwich experience that you won't forget. That's not the only sandwich they offer. No. Satisfy your cravings with a savory smoked turkey sandwich, or indulge yourself with the loaded pastrami. Or for the adventurous eater, they offer pickled tongue. And here's the best part. Caesar's Deli has incredible lunch specials that are designed to fill you up without emptying your wallet. Plus, did you know that Caesar's Deli has a full-service deli offering a variety of over 60 meats and cheeses? It's a sandwich lover's paradise, and that's why Caesar's Deli has been a local favorite and proudly serving Bakersfield since 1971. Visit Caesar's Deli today and taste the difference for yourself. Located at the corner of Brimhall and Callaway, behind the beautiful water fountain.
I'm John Busby with Team Busby Real Estate.
And I'm Jonathan Busby with Team Busby Real Estate.
We just wanted to talk with you about what we do as a team. We do a great job for our clients. Some of the things that we do is when we represent sellers, we don't just put the transaction together. We do our homework and we check their FICO score, source of funds, where the money's coming from, and the job stability. Because what we don't want is to get into
Taylor?
escrow and the escrow falls out because we didn't do our homework.
With any sort of real estate need that you have, we can accommodate, whether it's residential, commercial, land, or multi-units. We have experience in all and can help you to a successful close.
The background that we have is I was a lender for 5 years. And so I learned quite a bit as far as how to keep a transaction together. We don't just put it together and hope that it closes escrow. Nothing's 100%, but we do stack it in your favor.
With any needs or questions with real estate, give us a call at 661-410-7355 or visit our website at www.teambusby.com.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to The Ralph Bailey Show right here on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
How old is Sir Paul?
84.
My mother's age. My mother will be 84 in July. A couple things I did mention. I think I alluded to it, and then we started talking about Manav himself, that our local kid is playing the U.S. Open. He's even on the front nine. Got started late, but we're going to talk with Jin Park, the head pro out of BCC, a good friend of Manav, and get his thoughts on his chances and the field. It's been an exciting afternoon for U.S. Open golf. There are about 7 or 8 guys tied at 2 under, a bunch of guys at 1, and a bunch of guys at even, including our guy, Manav Shah. If he comes in, did you figure out what par was? 71, 72?
70.
70? So he got rid of both the par 5s. He shoots a 70 today. He is he would have to be honest with you, if he comes in even today, or +1, +2, he would basically have to crap the bed not to make the to make the cut. Because if they finish today at 2, 3, let's say they finish at 4. Let's just say somebody emerges at 4. That means the cut would be at like +6. And if he can finish at even or 1, like I said, he'd have to shoot like a 75, 76 on Friday not to make the cut. So we've got our fingers crossed for Manav. And Shohei Ohtani continues to make the Cy Young race interesting. I guess it's kind of difficult to call it a race even before the All-Star break, but he's 7-2 now. He pitched 7 strong innings, gave up 4 runs, so his ERA jumped a little bit, 1.47. If he had enough innings, he'd be leading the league, but he doesn't. And Tommy Edman came back. He went over, but nevertheless, Tommy's back in the lineup. That's always a good thing. And did you hear this? That Scoble, this is reporting. I didn't read this. I should remember who said this. I can't remember who the reporter was, but it's a baseball guy that you would know if you saw his face.
Jeff Passan?
No, I know Jeff Passan. I know Bo, whatever his name is, the guy with the glasses. And, yeah. 85% chance he gets traded, and the 2 leading teams are the Dodgers and the Yankees. There's a part of me that doesn't even want him with the Dodgers, because if we win, it'll just be like, well, of course you won. How could you not win?
It's already there.
I mean, yes, And what would be our rotation? When Glasnow comes back and Snell comes back, and we'd have Scoble and Sasaki and Yoshinobu and Shohei, we'd have a 6-man rotation. I guess you could do that. Take stress off their arms. Guys aren't going to be happy about their contracts. Why do I say that, Mr. Burdick?
Because there's incentives within.
Yes, they're not going to reach any of those incentives. Number of starts, number of innings, hell,
that's on purpose.
number of winnings, number of wins. Yeah, maybe. Can you imagine if we get Scoble?
See, here's the thing, though. You're going to pay him. I have no doubt that they're going to pay the kid.
Money? An issue?
You realize this is going to be even more fodder for the looming lockdown.
Oh, dude, there's going to be a lockout. I've told you that.
Coming.
I've told you that. There's going to be a lockout. There's no way that the players can relent on this.
Ooh.
There's no way in the world. There's no way in the world. And there's no way in the world the owners are going to relent on this. Therefore, there will be a lockout. And it's just a matter of how long and who's going to wink first.
Oh, yeah.
Blink first.
Honestly, it's going to be the owners.
It has to be, because those guys, the Sotos and the Otanis would be, just trading in the Gavin Luxes and the Tommy Edmonds and the guys that are making decent money, but they're never going to make crazy money. And if you put a salary cap, they're certainly not going to make any kind of crazy money. Everybody's looking for that one big contract. And if they put a cap on this thing, unlike any other sport, and to be honest with you, it'd be best for the sport, because it would also create a bottom salary because part of the issue is these Pittsburghs, these Clevelands aren't spending the money that they earn. You know what I'm saying? And don't tell me that you can't be competitive. Look what the Chicago White Sox are doing. They were one of the worst teams in baseball history last year. And not only are they in first place, but they just took 2 out of 3 from the best team in baseball. And the only time we won against the White Sox is when Yoshinobu had to throw damn near a perfect game. So don't tell me it's all about money when there are teams like the Blue Jays who did the very same thing last season, worst to first. And now the White Sox have gone worst to first. It's about spotting talent, young talent that you can nurture and bring up through your ball club. Meantime, I got to get to the grand opening of the Obama Presidential Center. It is a 19-acre facility in the very neighborhood that Michelle was raised in, the very neighborhood that Barack Obama worked as a community activist while Mrs. Obama was working as an attorney at one of the most elitist law firms in Chicago. It has a replica of his Oval Office, and it has all the apparel that Mrs. Obama wore when she was in the White House. Of course, they have a basketball court, a communications garden. It's just a beautiful facility, and they truly believe that it's going to be kind of a global attraction. Here is the 44th president of the United States, Barack Hussein Obama.
We all have the capacity for empathy. We all have the capacity for looking out for each other. We all have the capacity to feel a civic responsibility to make sure our government works. We all play a part in assuring that our elected officials are accountable. And that's not something that I think we can afford to suggest is behind us. That's what we need to be pointing towards in the future.
I'm an historian, or I like to call myself an historian. I enjoy history, and I enjoy talking about past presidents. I don't disrespect them, and I don't care what party they're from. One of my favorite, I'm a Republican. I was once a liberal Democrat, but one of my favorite presidents is John Kennedy. And so I don't have a problem talking about past presidents. I am one of the few African Americans that did not vote ever for Barack Obama. And I don't think Barack Obama did wonders for the Black community. I think he played them fast and loose, and he was a typical politician, an absolute typical politician. You want to give you an example? When he ran in 2008, not only he, but Hillary Clinton were against gay marriage. Once he got elected in 2020, and this is why I have a problem with it from him, because he said his reasoning was his religion, which I respected. I didn't agree with it. I thought it was stupid, but I understood why he was doing it. I knew he was being phony baloney. And then 4 years later, all of a sudden his religion changed because he got elected and he had a 60% approval rating. And so now he can take this thing out for a walk and afford to lose a couple of points. And I can be honest and say, I don't give a damn who's what and where and what and why. I had a problem with that. But beyond that, I don't think anybody respects the courage and tenacity it took for an African American to be the first. He is Jackie Robinson of politics, and he went through the same issues that Jackie Robinson went through in 1947, in 2008. Being questioned whether he was even born here, being questioned about his father, his sexuality, and now 10 years after his presidency, people are still talking about him. I wonder why that is. Hell, in 1984, nobody was talking about Nixon. In 1990, nobody was talking about Reagan. But when you hear people bagging on Barack Obama 10 years after his service, you have to wonder why. Well, I know why. I absolutely know why. He's in their kitchen. Do these black folks made it to the White House? What? And you know he's in Donald Trump's kitchen, making flapjacks. He's got some grits on the stove. He's got some biscuits in the oven. Donald Trump went to Europe and alluded to Barack Obama and Joe Biden during the G7. Talk about in your head. We have the great honor of talking with the next governor of the great state of California, Javier. No, I'm kidding. Steve Hilton joins us next. Let's coalesce around this man and get him to Sacramento. I don't even feel like doing this. Although it's cooler than yesterday, I guess.
Keith Peters in Washington. The Supreme Court has ruled against a broad federal ban on gun ownership by marijuana users. The decision Thursday is the latest in a line of firearms cases from a court that has expanded gun rights.
But I'll walk.
Justices decided unanimously in favor of a Texas man who argued that a law barring guns from anyone who regularly uses illegal drugs violates the Second Amendment. The U.S. lifted its blockade of Iran and oil tankers began freely moving through the Strait of Hormuz after months of being unable to use the critical channel. It happened Thursday as the tentative agreement to end the war took effect. Meanwhile, Vice President Vance announced he may postpone a trip to Switzerland that had been planned for Friday and included a ceremonial signing of the deal. More details at srnnews.com.
It is so different.
Turn radio. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN. Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
I'm Chris Davis. You hear people complain that an ambulance ride costs a lot. For a person who took an unauthorized ambulance ride from a hospital in Tulare County Monday all the way to Bakersfield at high speeds until crashing into a tree on Highway 99, the ambulance ride cost that person their freedom. Police have charged that person with theft after the Wednesday incident. August 7th may be the date that former Kern County Detention Officer Patrick McNeil finally faces a judge to determine if his DUI case goes to trial. He's facing 9 felony charges and several misdemeanors after 2 wrecks on the same night. March 16th, police say he was 4 times the legal limit drunk when his van hit 3 parked cars. Cops say he got back out on the road in another car and had another wreck. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. With burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and local service, our promise to the Central Valley remains the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Hey, it's that man again for Sangera Subaru. You know, the world's biggest tournament is here. And this summer, Sangera Subaru is bringing all the excitement home. So they're kicking it off with some incredible offers on new Subarus all month long. Right now, lease a 2026 Outback Premium CVT for $229 a month for 36 months and $5,014 due at signing. Plus, every Subaru comes standard with symmetrical all-wheel drive. Don't miss your chance to drive something new during soccer's biggest event of the summer going on right now at Sangera Subaru. So stop by, see my good friends Damon Culbertson and Hassan Levy, and test drive a brand new Subaru. Sangera Subaru, paving the way for a better community. 5500 Gasoline Alley Drive in the Bakersfield Auto Mall.
Lease 2026 Subaru Outback Premium CVT with TSRP $37,287, $229 per month plus tax for 36 months. Total lease payments $8,855, $5,014 total due at lease signing. Includes first month's payment, excludes tax, title, license, and $85 document fee. Total lease cost $13,869, excludes tax and fees. No security deposit. Lease based on 7,500 mile per year, 15 cent per mile over. Available to qualified customers through Subaru Motor Finance on approved credit. Expires 2/30/2026. Excludes optional equipment and dealer install.
He's calling us, correct?
But I'm going to text her anyway.
Morning 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Friday edition of the First Look program, we have the latest. The county's suing the city. There's no other way to put it. It's insane, but we're doing it. We got obviously World Cup news. We've got news, traffic, weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
You know, technically we're late, but we're early. Because I'm looking at this thing and it says 3:40 technically. So we've got to wait a couple of minutes. We're waiting to hear from Steve Hilton, gubernatorial. I'm going to tell you that she can't hear us. Can you guys not hear?
That was like from the top of the show, she says.
Oh, okay. Just turn it up. Anything on the board before we get Mr. Hilton in here?
Yeah, I got a couple.
What do you got?
I hope it is beautiful on the inside because the outside is really ugly.
I saw the communication garden is beautiful. The structure of the building, I agree. And some of the artwork, even the folks in Chicago aren't very happy with. But the garden is beautiful. I think the lot, the 19-acre lot that they have on our campus, whatever you want to call it, is beautiful. But you're right, the structure itself is kind of that weird architecture that they're putting up in DC these days too, which seems, I don't know, a little weird to me. But did you hear that Trump's attempt to make the reflecting pool blue has gone green? So he didn't factor in algae. And now the whole reflecting pool is green. And he's got people throwing in whatever chemical kills algae to try to make it blue. I've been to the reflecting pool a dozen times, and I've never paid attention to the color of the water. It never mattered to me because standing behind me was Abraham Lincoln. And really my kind of attention was on Abe Lincoln. The only time the reflecting pool has even been in my orbit is watching Forrest Gump. You remember the scene where they have him speak as an anti-war guy? He obviously doesn't realize it. Some guy pulls the plug out from him, and then they plug it back in, and he says, "That's all I have to say about that." So they didn't hear him talk well about the war. And then Jenny comes running into the middle of the damn pool, which I think is deeper than that, isn't it? Do you remember that scene in the film?
I do remember the scene
where they're like knee high, but I think that water's deeper than that. That might have been not AI back then, but generated on a green screen, because I'm pretty certain. Anybody know about the reflecting pool? Yeah, so anyway, and that's where Dr. King gave us I almost said his I Dream of Jeannie speech. No, his I Have a Dream speech. So I've never really paid attention to the color of the water, to be honest with you. What else you got?
I just got one more. It says, Ralph, President Obama's speech today gave Americans hope, not some bigoted man or baby rant. And he sent a picture of Donald leaving the last interview where he walked out.
I just believe that the man held himself well. And I don't think that enough of you give him enough respect as to what he achieved, whether you agree with him or not. And as I said, I've never voted for the man. And that doesn't make me very popular in the Black community. I couldn't possibly care less. But I have tremendous respect for the man, as I do for all 45 of the men who have been president of the United States. Just I have duly respect for all 45 of the women who were the wives of the President of the United States. And if you truly want to be a patriot, if you want to wave the flag and claim America, the beautiful, et cetera, then shouldn't you be showing some decorum to those that have stood up and had the temerity to put their name on a ballot, to put their name perhaps on a target? The first African American, you don't think that he had fears or she had fears of him being shot? And I think when you put your name in the public service and you serve, whether you agree with that person or not, they deserve a certain amount of decorum and respect. And I know we've lost that as a community, as a society, but I haven't. It's the way I was raised. And as a person who respects history, I admired Richard Nixon after he left office. I loved the interviews that he did with David Frost. He was a fascinating, brilliant man who I've played audio of recently in talking about his support of Israel and future support of Israel. But it just astounds me that in the 21st century that we're raising children to become adults who are willing to show disrespect to somebody or anyone who's achieved 10 times anything an idiot wrestler from Wasco could achieve, or a blowhard talk show host, whatever. And it just should be a modicum of respect. And if I have to do it personally on this radio show, I will do it. I will do it, because you're going to hear some different things from this radio station in the next, how long? We don't know how long. I suspect not very long. In the meantime, what else is going on while we wait for Mr. Hilton? He is not even late yet. Airfares are going up. Airfares are now, they're saying, I saw on the Today Show, they're saying airfares are up by 25 to 30%. And that they're not going to come down anytime soon, that if the Ayatollah himself came and signed an agreement on the White House lawn tomorrow, they're suspecting that airfare is going to be up for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months, because now the airlines want to make up for the money that they lost when they first couldn't just throw it on you, and they tried to circumvent it and still get their money back by not increasing the airfare, but ticky-tacking you on carry-on bags and increasing the amount for check-in bags and things like that. And then when that period ran out, then they just said, screw it, we're just going to raise the fares. Just when I'm planning to fly to Nevada, just when I'm flying to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So I don't know, what should I do? Should I buy my ticket now? Or should I wait a month, maybe 6 weeks, and hope that maybe this thing does settle down? I mean, at minimum, we know it's going to settle down for 60 days. Now, my issue, and we'll talk about this later after we talk to Mr. Hilton, my issue is what happens after 60 days? What happens if the Iranians say, you know what, no deal. No deal. Are we really going to start the bombardment again? Really? I just don't see that. And again, the Israeli factor has not been put into the equation. Because as I said, as Howard Marcus said, as anybody with an IQ over 70 has said, the Israelis aren't just going to go along with this. The Israelis are not going to stop hunting down Hezbollah or Hamas, for that matter, which means they're going to continue. They're not going to leave Lebanon. They're going to continue to wage war in Lebanon. And that's a deal breaker, according to the page and a half MOU. And this could be a small problem for the Trump administration, because Netanyahu is not going to let this go. He cannot let this go. He has to ferret out. While we can make a deal with these people, he still has to live with Hezbollah in Lebanon. Meantime, for the second time within the last couple of months, the gubernatorial candidate, the official candidate taking on Javier Becerra, Steve Hilton, joins us. Mr. Hilton, thanks again for joining us. We appreciate it.
Of course, fantastic to be with you.
Where do we find you on this Thursday afternoon?
I am driving down the I-5. We're heading from Sacramento to Stockton right now.
Outstanding, outstanding. So now you're official.
I'm kind of heading your way. I'm going to be in Fresno tomorrow, but I think we're going to make it all the way down to Kern. We'll see.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to talk about. I want to commend you for banging the Central Valley. The last time we had a statewide race, Steve Garvey, a guy that I grew up with, is a hero for the Los Angeles Dodgers growing up in LA. I think he made a tragic mistake. He was only on my show once. He didn't spend a lot of time in the Central Valley, and we were all scratching our heads why he's not in Fresno, why he's not in Kings, why he's not in Tulare. And you're absolutely banging the cage, and I commend you for it.
No, I love it. It's a joy and a pleasure. I can't tell you. My heart lifts the minute. I mean, I'm looking out right here in the north. I'm looking at some beautiful grapevines here, and there's citrus on my left, and it's just wonderful. I mean, I just love it. And so it's been an honor and a joy to get to know our ag industry, our energy industry. I've been out on the oil fields many times. I've been out in the farms and dairy and picking tomato. You know, I've done the whole thing. Pistachio harvest. I've really been, and this for years, right? I've been working on solutions to our problems in California for years before I announced my campaign for governor. I set up a policy organization called Golden Together. That was 3 years ago, just over 3 years ago. Our very first event was in Fresno. I've been to the Valley hundreds of times, I'm going to say, over the last couple of years.
Outstanding. So now that it's one-on-one with you and Javier Becerra, the failed HHS secretary, even Biden cabinet members are willing to admit that. What is your strategy from here on out till November?
Well, we're going to draw the contrast between the career politician who's part of the corrupt machine that's given us the highest poverty rate, the highest unemployment rate, the highest cost of living in the country, and he now offers more of the same. That's literally what he's saying. More of the same: cost, incompetence, failure, and corruption. I mean, he was asked the other day on CNN, the CNN host said to him, look, we've got some problems in California. We've got homelessness. We've got crime. We've got the highest poverty rate, the highest cost of living, highest unemployment rate. Is there anything you would have done differently? Democrats have been in charge. That same question that Kamala Harris made such a disastrous,
we remember.
We remember. Exactly. No, would you do anything differently from Biden? Oh, nothing comes to mind. Well, he was the same. But Sarah said, yeah, you know, it can't be that bad in California. We have still got lots of people going to Disneyland. That was his answer. And the host pressed him and said, but on policy, any changes? He said no. So you've got more of the same from Becerra, or the change we need from me. And it's also about who we are as people. You know, most of my career has been in business. Obviously, people know me from my time on Fox News, and I've had some experience in the media. I've also worked inside of a government, senior advisor to the Prime Minister back in the day in the UK before we moved here in 2012 with my wife and my 2 sons. But most of my career has been in business. That's how I approach things. A pragmatic, problem-solving business mindset. And the focus is going to be very simple. We're going to cut your costs, and we're going to have California be open for business. And that's really what this is about. And my plans are very pragmatic. They're not ideological. This is how we win people over. $3 gas. Cut your electric bills in half. Your first 150 grand of income tax-free. A home you can afford to buy. Starter homes for young families. Getting rid of the bloat and the regulations in our government that make it so impossible to run a business.
How will the governor of California affect gas prices?
So there's 3 parts to that. Number one is we open up California oil and gas production. So we stop the insanity of importing what is now nearly 80% of our oil, even though we have abundant reserves, as you know well, right here in Kern County, mainly in California. And the governor can do that directly through appointments to CalGEM, Geologic and Energy Management, which is the main agency regulating production, which has been shutting down the industry by refusing to issue permits for routine maintenance, for expanding existing wells, for drilling new wells in existing fields. All of that can change almost overnight. We kick out the climate fanatics and we put in pro-energy people, and we give them a very clear instruction. You issue every permit that the industry wants. Even before they ask for it, I want you to give it to them. So that's one part of it. Second part of it is to scale back the regulations that make it so expensive to refine oil and gas. So that's part of it. It's not just the lack of production and the import costs and so on, which has played a part in closing down refineries. It's also the cost of refining because of regulations that are far in excess of what any other place has and don't make any difference in terms of environmental impact. And then you have the whole infrastructure, the regulatory infrastructure of cap and trade, they now call it cap and invest, the low carbon fuel standard, all these things that have been layered on that cause us to have gas prices that right now are about $2 higher than the rest of the country, even with the Iran war. It's always higher here. So there's actually a lot you can do directly as the governor. That's before you even get to the gas tax, which you can't control directly. Obviously, we have the highest gas tax in the country. That's ridiculous. Need to bring that down. That's something I'm going to ask the legislature to do. We'll see if they want to play ball on that.
Right.
But there's a lot you can do just through the regulatory agencies controlled by the governor.
Okay. Steve Hilton, gubernatorial candidate, is our guest. We probably talked about this in the past. We've talked about this with other guests. But Hal, let's assume you get elected. What can you do in this one-party state beyond veto? And I think even with the supermajority, they could overturn your veto.
Well, I've just given you an example on energy, which is using the regulatory, you run the executive branch. It's very powerful. I mean, look how Newsom used it in terms of shutting everything down in the pandemic or suspending, the CEQA and the Coastal Commission after the Palisades. There's actually a lot you can do if you understand how government works and you're prepared to use it. And that's the work that I've been doing, not just campaigning, but preparing for government. We have Cal Doge that we set up at the beginning of the year, published multiple reports on how we can reduce regulations and scale back the bureaucracy and stop the fraud and waste and inefficiency in the government. There's a lot to do, but it's, you're going to be seeing through the remaining months of this campaign, the people that I'm going to be appointing. I'm going to be announcing people that I appoint to these positions.
Will they be bipartisan people?
Well, they'll be good, effective people who know what they're doing, especially business people. We've got enough bureaucrats. That's been the problem. We've been run by bureaucrats who don't understand about results, who only understand about process. And I'm talking now not just about the actual bureaucrats inside of these agencies, but the politicians. I mean, you look at someone like Becerra, he's a bureaucrat. Karen Bass, she's a bureaucrat in the terms of their thinking, how they approach their machines, their career politicians, never done anything else.
Right.
So that's how they think. Gavin Newsom's the same. Joe Biden's the same. Kamala Harris is the same. These career politicians who just think like a bureaucrat. That's what we've got to get rid of.
Steve Hilton is our guest gubernatorial candidate coming up in November. You didn't get to 30% of the vote. Are you expecting that Chad Bianco and the other Republicans will coalesce with you? And do you need to reach out to moderate Democrats and independents to beat Javier Becerra?
Yeah, we've got to get to 50%, but we will. I mean, there's more than that percentage. You want change in California, and that's my audience. In the last poll I saw, 57% of Californians want change. Another poll, 66% want a major overhaul of the California government. That's our audience. There's a majority for change in California. My entire plan is not divisive or partisan. It's common sense, practical things that will help make people's lives better.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to get a lot of people behind that.
I know there's been some hard feelings between you and Sheriff Chad Bianco. Has he come out and full-throatedly or even half-assedly endorsed you?
There's no hard feelings on my part. As I said this during the state party convention. I said in my speech to the delegates, I said, look, primaries are rough. They can be rough. That's how it is, but we will come together afterwards. Look at the 2016 presidential primary. Everyone remembers Little Marco. Remember that?
Yes,
well, now
sir.
Little Marco is playing a very big role in President Trump's administration.
Secretary of State.
We move on. We're all on the same team. We got to bring change to California. My door is always open.
Steve Hilton, our guest. I'll leave you with this. I'm running out of time. What did you think of the election? A lot of folks, including the president, were claiming that there was fraud going on widespread here in the state of California. What are your thoughts?
I think the point is to understand is that they've legalized all of this. So for the last, few years, many decades, you could say, and we've been exposing some of this through Cal Doge, they've been siphoning off taxpayer money into these Democrat nonprofits and political organizations that have been building their machine for registering voters and harvesting ballots and all this stuff that we see. that comes into play during election time. But it's all legal. And so we've got to build our own machine to fight back. And that's what I'll be doing in this campaign.
Yeah, I don't believe that there's been any fraud, not any fraud that could change an election, but there's a clear consensus that we have to do something about our mail-in ballots. We have to do something about this system where Florida can count all their votes in one night, and it takes us 2 weeks. That's something's got to change. Wouldn't you agree?
Exactly. No, I totally agree with that. I've laid out. I think we should not have this. We can't have universal mail-in ballots. Of course, if you can't get to vote, you should be able to apply for one. I think that we should significantly reduce early voting. I think a little bit of early voting is sensible. Maybe the weekend before and the day before Tuesday of election day. We absolutely have to stop the insanity of counting ballots, that have arrived 7 days after election day. The good news is the Supreme Court will probably stop that even in time for this November's election. So there's a lot of changes we need to make. But right now, we've got to work with the system we've got. And so the simple message is we've got to go and get every vote. Every single person listening can help persuade people to come on board and join our movement for change, give some money, help the effort. We can do this. We can beat, because the starting point is very positive. A majority of Californians want change, and that cannot be Javier Becerra. He's the living embodiment of more of the same. We need change, and we're going to bring it this year.
As we do with all of our candidates, we'll let you go out on explaining to listeners why they should vote for Steve Hilton.
Because I'm a positive, pragmatic business guy with detailed plans for reducing the cost of living in California, for helping our businesses create jobs and wealth and opportunity, for getting back to common sense in a reasonable way that will make life better and restore the California dream. Very simple.
Ms. Hilton, thanks for taking the time. Good luck in the campaign, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again before November.
Fantastic. Great to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Steve Hilton, the Javier Becerra. We got a chance, but it's not enough to vote. It really isn't enough just to vote. Say, I've done my duty, got my sticker, I'm good. That ain't enough. To win in a one-party state, you've got to call your friends. You've got to make sure that the elderly in your neighborhood can get to the polls or have filled out their mail-in ballots. We have really got to circle the wagons because Javier Becerra is a nightmare. This isn't just a Republican versus any old Democrat. This is an incompetent Democrat who you've heard the audio we played for you. Did we not take the 45? We got to take a break. We'll come back and wrap this thing up. Don't go anywhere. It's the Ralph Bailey Show. I thought we did.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
That's why I was telling you at 40, I was like, do you want to take a break early while we're waiting on him? But
yeah, we should have. I blacked out again.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's a short one anyway.
IT company that Kern Radio Studios are powered by. And why did we get in bed with the folks at Adaptive Networks? Because of their reliability and their quick service. Again, as I've talked about repeatedly, we're a radio station. We absolutely depend on our IT. We can't have somebody say, well, we'll be there tomorrow. We'll be there on Monday. No. We need them here today. And that's why we've turned to the folks at Adaptive Networks, as you should as well. And again, as I talked about, cybersecurity is number one issue when it comes to IT. I've told you about the academic absolute hostage of their information. Well, Adaptive Networks can stave that off. And if they don't, they can retrieve your information without a ransom. Call the folks at Adaptive Networks today at 661-241-0638. That's 241-0638. Or hit them online at adaptive-net.com.
Howdy, Bakersfield. Michael Binge, noted barbecue connoisseur for Salty's Barbecue and Catering, with my good friend and owner of Salty's, Jeff Salters.
Well, Michael, today we have some very special guests. I like to call them my grandbabies. We have Ariana, Pierce, Ivy, Emma, Stanley, Luke, and Kip. And today, they want to help Papa with his commercials. Go for it, kiddos. Hey, everybody. This is my grandbaby. Ariana, what's your favorite at Salty's?
of rice.
The rice pilaf? Oh my goodness. Pierce, what's your favorite?
Bread.
So far, my grandkids like rice and bread. Does anybody like the meat? Ivy, what's your favorite?
I like your red. Thank you.
So this year we're going to be closed on Sunday for Father's Day, so our team can stay home and celebrate with their dads. Make sure to go to saltysbbq.com for all your ordering information to get those orders in early.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
I believe in yesterday, so she had to go on. She would say something wrong for yesterday. Yesterday.
It's a great song.
What are you doing? Why are you laughing?
I love violins.
Quick time out. We head into the 4. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN, 96.1 FM, K241CI Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The end of the war in Iran is bringing good news for American drivers. Across the nation, U.S. gas prices are lower after the president signed the deal with Iran. Correspondent Laura Winters reports.
Gas prices for regular unleaded falling below $4 a gallon in many states across the country. The drop comes after President Trump signed the agreement with Iran. In California, gas prices are averaging around $5.64 a gallon, but in South Carolina, regular unleaded is around $2 cheaper at $3.58 per gallon. Laura Winters reporting.
Some uncertainty lingers around the deal between the U.S. and Iran. Vice President J.D. Vance issued a notable warning to Israeli officials who criticized President Trump over the deal he reached with Iran.
That memorandum of understanding between the U.S. and Iran really calls for an end to the hostilities in Lebanon. However, when the vice president got asked this question, particularly about the internal frustrations that the Israeli prime minister had been voicing in private, he gave a pretty stark warning. It really caught my attention and caught the attention of others in the room. He pointed out that President Trump remains the only head of state in the world that is sympathetic to Israel right now, and basically saying to Israel, the U.S. is your only friend in the world at this moment.
Correspondent Sung Min Kim reporting. The New York Knicks celebrated their first NBA championship in 53 years with a ticker tape parade through Manhattan's Canyon of Heroes, drawing thousands of fans. It was also a good day on Wall Street as the Dow was up by 72 points. The Nasdaq rose by 496, with the S&P 500 advancing 80. More at townhall.com.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership.
Get the fuck
no
outta
pressure,
here.
but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic
I've lost
republic,
my phone.
Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data
Twice in
for just
96
$34.99 a month.
Play
Dial
golf
pound
with
250,
Sam
say
on
Mike Rowe.
Sunday.
That's pound 250, say
Sam
Mike
Brandon,
Rowe. And happy
the boss's
birthday to
son.
us.
And BCC.
U.S. health officials
From the KERN newsroom, your live
I
and
either
local news update.
dropped it getting out of the
The
truck,
case of the stolen ambulance. I'm
or
Chris
I
Davis.
left it
The
on the
ambulance
truck
was stolen from a
because I
hospital in
found it
Tulare
on the
County
other
Wednesday
side of the
afternoon,
street.
say police, and was finally stopped when it hit a tree
So
on
either-
Highway 99 in Bakersfield and the suspect arrested. Police
And then I
believe the person
left it
who
in
stole
Uber
it
last night.
was a patient at the hospital, jumped inside when a
I know.
paramedic was in the passenger seat
I
and hit
left
the
it in-
gas, recklessly driving at high speeds while being followed by Kern County deputies until the ambulance finally wrecked. The paramedic had been able to get out by that time. In another case of disrespect for the proper use of a vehicle, former Kern County Detention Officer Patrick McNeil now has a date of August 7th to be in court. Will go to trial. He's charged with 9 felonies and some misdemeanors too for a March incident in which he is accused of driving drunk and hitting 3 parked cars with his van. After being given a ticket and a ride to the house, charging documents say he got in another car 2 hours later and had another wreck. Caesar Chavez Park in Delano is no longer named Caesar Chavez Park. It's now Ellington Park, and Caesar Chavez Lane is now just Chavez Lane after formal approval for the
So how
changes
does it
was
work?
granted this week by the Delano City Council, a move that they have been considering since April, and that was
I played-
already given an informal nod with sign changes already
Yeah.
in the works in preparation for the formal approval.
All right. Thank you,
In
sir.
Ridgecrest, Sidney Maiden is back in jail. The parolee was arrested Wednesday afternoon about 3:20 when he was pulled over by Ridgecrest police on North Albert Lane. Because he was out on parole, he
played
was not
really
allowed
well
to have what police say he had in the
I
car
went-
with him,
he
which
had me-
was a
we played
loaded
match,
semi-automatic
and
pistol
he
with
had
a
me
high-capacity
down
magazine.
with two
Now
to
he's
play,
booked
'cause I
on
gave
several
away
weapons
16.
charges for being
Plus
a
my
felon
drive up to the
in possession of a firearm.
trap on the
I'm
left.
Chris Davis in the
but I was in
KERN
the
newsroom
trap.
with news every half
The ball
hour
was
and
on
when
the
it breaks
fairway.
on News Talk
My feet were in the
96.1 and
trap.
AM
And I had
1230
to, like,
KERN.
Hollywood Big Shot's gonna give you what you want.
Out of it.
Triple
And
A
I ended
start
up making
shooting in a
6
week.
anyway.
I'm gonna make him an
From the
offer.
fairway. But then I went to 17.
Ralph Bailey Show.
Dude, from 17,
News Talk
I hit it within
96.1.
like 5 feet.
AM 1230.
And barely missed the birdie putt. Then went to 18, hit it like even with the trap.
I may not get there with you,
to within 6
but
feet.
I want you to know
Sam is
tonight
40 yards ahead of me.
that
I'm
we
walking to
as
the
a
green.
people will
And I'm
get
halfway
to the
there and I
promised
hear,
land.
oh, that's
Call
good,
or
Ralph.
text to
He hits his
661
inside of me.
42 KERN.
We both have
That's
birdie putts to win the match. If he
661
makes it, we win.
5376.
'Cause I
Listen
pop
live at
if I
KERNradio.com.
But he misses
Now,
and I
the
miss. I
host
make
you've been
4
waiting
and I
all
pop.
day
So I
for.
came back.
Live from the KERN studio. Here's
43 on the
Ralph
back.
Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Thursday. And look who's back. Up and down the boulevard, the shadows searching in the night. My turnip seed has returned. Do you know just about every one of my regulars is on vacation?
Well,
Teresa Golden doesn't come back till July.
well, she's gone for like what, 2 months?
Yeah, she's gone. She doesn't come back till
I can only
July.
afford 2 weeks, Ralph.
Yeah, that's what I
That's the
said.
difference between us, me and the Golden.
Well, that's what I said about a week ago. I said I need to find less lucrative guests. The Van Alstynes are going to Nashville.
Well, that's still America. That means
Yeah.
they only have a 4-hour flight instead of 13 hours.
True. Do you want to talk about your vacation?
Oh no, we flew to the British Isles. We flew to London and was cruised around for 12 days and
See, I
got on a
hate-
plane and flew home.
I hate you. What, Ralph? We just went to London and we just went to. That's a big deal, Mike.
Well, that's
I'm
kind
going,
of our,
I'm going to
that's our
I'm
once
going
a
to
year.
I'm going to El Segundo this summer. You know what I'm saying? That's a big
Well,
deal.
Ralph, as we get older, we were able. You have no kids. You have no anything, and
No, I'm going to
you know,
Vegas. I'm going to the Golden.
but
Going to
we
Golden
went back.
Nugget.
We went on a big ship. There were like 1,200 people on it. And
You
we-
like that?
No.
Thank you.
I mean, it was
don't
a nice cruise. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Right.
It was a nice cruise. The food was great. They had like 6 restaurants.
Yeah.
They had like from a cafeteria and a dining room. Then they had 4 specialty restaurants, so you could go around and get like an Italian and a French and an Asian and pick your dinners and do that.
Yeah.
And it started out in London, went up to like Edinburgh, Scotland, and all the way around. The only problem we had bad weather. We couldn't get off the boat. the waves were so, because we have to dock. And we had these little ferry boats, these little dinghies that kind of take us in, and the waves were like 3 to 4 feet high.
Really?
So they said, we're not going anywhere today.
Good.
We just kind of sat there for the day though, because they have a schedule.
Did you feel it on the boat?
A little bit, not bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Not bad.
Okay.
But I mean, no, not a little bit, not bad. But the fine was, and we went to these little ports like Cork and all these little towns and walked around because I'll see what little British towns were and Scottish towns and Wales towns, and it was nice. It was a nice trip.
Yeah. What was the highlight?
The highlight.
Yeah. Anything catch or take your breath away?
No, I don't think it was a highlight. I mean, you just go around and see the neighborhood. You see things. We didn't take any real big excursions.
Did you go into London?
No, we just flew in and out.
No, well, that sucks.
One of the couple stayed a couple days because they had some family who live in London. But no, this time we've done that before, to go early or stay late an extra couple days. But this was 12 days instead of 7.
Yeah.
So it was 12 days time to come home.
That's a long time on a boat.
It went by really fast.
Yeah.
It really went by fast. And, cruising is a great vacation, but we basically decided going back to the rivers, the river boats. You see, like biking, they talk about the river cruises.
Yeah.
150 people. There's one dining room, one bar.
Yeah.
I think this place had 7 bars in it. It had a pool.
Casino?
It had a casino.
Did you gamble at all?
No.
Not at all.
Not one bit.
Oh, Lord.
But anyway, it's a nice ship. I mean, it was good. But when you're getting on and off the boat with 1,200 people trying to get off the boat at the
Yeah, it
same
must
time.
be a pain in the butt.
A couple days they were.
Yeah,
Sometimes because some people get up early and we get up later, but that was fine. And they had these little dinghies that could hold like 100, 150 people. You run back and forth like a water taxi. It was kind of the rescue boats, they have.
Yeah, those are
they were
pretty big
all
boats.
enclosed. Oh yeah, there's like
100
20
people.
Oh, they squeeze you in like sardines. You are literally like this, and you're shoulder to shoulder, and it was good. It was different. We haven't done a big boat like that in a long time, but like we were already talking for next year, what river do we have left to go back to river cruises, because it's just
a little more quaint.
More quaint. I mean, it used to be years ago when we did a couple big cruises. You dress up at night. Nobody dresses up.
No, are you kidding?
Nobody.
The 21st century.
And I would say the average age on this boat was well over 60. There were probably, I saw one kid.
Yeah.
One kid.
Well, that's a good thing. That's what I like about Vegas, because Vegas, at the quality restaurants, people still get dressed. At the quality restaurants.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, let's get to work. The county is suing the city over these sewer rates. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I can't get any of my dear friends on the Board of Supervisors to return my text to come on the program. But nevertheless, what are your thoughts, sir?
Well, this is basically a closed session. Litigation is closed session. They talk about it. They never talk about that publicly.
I understand, but they can break down some of the factors.
Well, basically, the factor they're saying is the city did not purport. The city has a double system of stormwater and sewer water going together.
Right.
And they're charging sewer rates for the stormwater, which you don't have to really you don't have to treat stormwater. You just kind of put it in and it goes
In
out.
a sump. Yeah.
It goes in the sump, but it's all going through the same pipes in the same system. And that's what I read in the paper. That was one of their things. And the real fact was the county did not, by the time the city told the county and they were doing it, the county could not do the 218 process for their citizens. They have to do a vote just like the county did, like the city did.
Right.
And there was no time left to get it done by July 1. So I think that's part of the suit too. I have not read the suit, but it seems like the city just did what they
Bungled it
wanted to
again.
do.
Yep.
And for the whatever the number of customers there are, said, hey, here's the bill. Wait a second.
Basically, reading between the lines, the county basically says we can figure out a better way to do this. Isn't
I think
that way?
everybody could figure out better ways to do it than what they did.
Why is our municipal government so inept? And I'm being kind.
Everything flows to the council.
Through the staff. And then it's rubber stamped
the staff,
by the part-time council members.
Mr. Clegg is very aware. He has to keep 4 councilmen happy all the time. That's his job. You got all 7. You just need 4. And so
that's why Alan Tandy was an effective city manager. As much of an ass as he was, he didn't give a damn about those people. He was like the director he was like Alfred Hitchcock. He used to treat his actors like cattle. He didn't give a damn. He'll do what we say. Am I not right about that?
I would think it's a good generalization.
Thank you.
That Alan Tandy
didn't give a
was
doggone
Lord and master.
Damn right.
And he controlled by, if you voted against Alan Tandy, I heard this from 2. There was a vote. It was 6-1. A guy said I just couldn't vote for it. And for 6 months, they make referrals at the end of the meeting to do this. He didn't get one referral done. So you learn that that's how the politics were played then. Mr. Clegg doesn't play that way. He's a different.
I don't mind you playing that way. We just needed a benevolent dictator, and Alan was not a benevolent dictator. You know what I'm saying? But I don't mind a municipal dictator. I really don't. I think to cut through the weeds, to get rid of the staff, and to stop dealing with these idiotic council members who are just simply trying to use this as a stepping stone to go to Sacramento. I don't mind a guy who says, this is the way we're going to do it. But we needed a benevolent guy who didn't believe in his press clippings and didn't get the passes that Alan got. The thing at the hockey game, blowing into the cop's hands with a DUI, which all of us would have gone to jail for. That's the problem with a dictator. Because there's no way in human nature you can have that kind of power that he had and not it go to your head. You would have to be an incredibly superior human being not to think, this is my doggone city. And I'll put my feet up at a hockey game if I want to. What you gonna do about it?
That's why.
You know what I'm saying?
That is why when you look virtually all of the major cities, large cities, eventually gravitate to a strong mayor.
That's all I'm saying. How long have I been screaming? Let's get a charter.
You have to
change the
charter.
Let's go.
And elect a strong mayor who's like the council. He doesn't vote with the council. He's the executor. He is
the overseer.
He's just like the president or the governor.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who hires people and makes appointments instead of the city manager. And he's voted for by every person in the city.
Why are we against that?
I have no idea. Probably because anyone that strong, they don't like the idea of the concept because we've always had benevolent mayors like Harvey Hall, and now Mayor Go.
Bob Price.
Back
in the day.
They were diplomats. They weren't administrators.
No.
They weren't running the show.
Harvey Hall was a PR guy and was brilliant at it.
Well, so is Mayor Go. She posts more pictures than Carter's Got Pills. She has to have the world record for the most pictures ever put on.
And the most appearances at an event by any human being I've ever seen in my life.
3, 4, 5 a day.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see
She
her.
goes to every ribbon cutting just like Harvey did.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to all the events in town. I don't care what nonprofit's doing it. She's there. She is I'll say benevolent, but she handles public comment like a dictator. That's her only place. When the 20 minutes is up, she cuts people off, and I'm still waiting for somebody to sue.
Really? JR should have sued. That would have been great publicity.
Can reduce the time. That is legal.
Yeah.
You can go from 2 minutes to a minute. You got everybody speak.
Yeah.
You figure there's 10 people left and there's 10 minutes on the clock. You can say, so, okay, we're going to cut everybody to a minute. You can do that. That's legal. I've seen that
What would you
happen.
have grounds to sue for then?
What happens is when there's, say, 14 people to talk, 15 people to talk, and 10 or 11 of them get to talk and you run out of time.
That's actionable?
Well,
Just
she
'cause
kind of
we-
asks him, all she does, instead of allowing him to talk, are you for or against?
Really?
For, against. Okay, that's it. Like 2 words. That's why at the meetings that I've seen under these new rules that they're working under, and the fact that people have the right to talk.
Yeah.
And 2 minutes is nothing. If you want to be an elected official and you can't give a person who comes all the way down to City Hall, sits there for a long time to talk, you can't give them 2 minutes to talk.
I agree.
Why did you run for office?
Mike Turnipseed has returned from vacation. So let's get back to brass tacks. Is the county, take a shot, speculate about this suit. Is it going to get up on the ground? Can the county come in and
they hired a pretty prominent firm to do the case.
Local?
No.
Big time?
Specialty.
Yeah,
Specialty.
yeah.
This is, sewers have their own universe.
Legislative or
Well,
legal
stuff like that. Prop 218 is its own little world.
Yeah.
And some lawyers specialize in 218 and on both sides. And there's been some very big lawsuits over that about how 218 is interpreted and how it works.
Okay. All right. Anything else going on before I let you go? On your big debut back?
Just took like 3 days to get my clock back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, no, it's fine. Just going through the mail and seeing what's going on. And
have you been paying attention to Epic Fury and this page and a half MOU, this memo of understanding?
Have you ever heard of any peace treaty that's a page and a half?
Dude, Republicans don't even like this.
No,
I've got
they
some.
don't. I mean,
I've got some Trey Gowdy audio where he's like, "They won. They won.
They won.
He capitulated."
No, he completely capitulated, and now he's trying to blame Vance for negotiating the contract.
And what's crazy is he said that jokingly, like
I
a couple
don't
of
think
days
he was
ago.
joking
When he said that
And
at the
Rubio
G7,
isn't saying a word.
that is amazing, and that is telling.
No,
that is
he is
very
smart.
telling. It is.
I'm not.
He don't want to have
I'm
anything
not
to do with this
touching
thing. Yeah.
stinky excrement with a 10-foot pole.
I mean, what did we win?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
How many billions of dollars did we spend?
Billions of dollars, 13 servicemen gone, and
yeah,
and we provided them leverage that they now have, that they are aware of now, and that is the Strait of Hormuz.
And when he, and this is just defense because everybody thinks they're the greatest president of all time. Just ask them, right?
Yeah.
Biden thought it, Bush thought it, Clinton thought it. They all thought they were the greatest. But when you look at the ones that are really, you had Washington,
Lincoln,
Kennedy,
Roosevelt.
No, Roosevelt. All these terms. He went.
Kennedy's in the top 10.
Oh, he's in the top 10.
I was just
but he's
looking
not
at
in
it
the top
today.
3 or 4.
No, you got to go to South Dakota to find the top 4.
But the idea.
North Dakota, South Dakota,
South Dakota, I think.
Yeah.
But the idea is to think all of the things, the depression. I mean, going through all that, and just when think you're going to get done you're in the war. So he ran for the 3rd term.
Dumbest thing, you never want to be
with all the things, a 2-theater war, and organizing the industrial might.
I thought the last thing a president wants is to be a war president, but I think he got a sugar high after Venezuela. And I think he thought this would really be easy. A country just a little bigger than Texas, come on. This will be easy, just like Venezuela. And then they were just ad-libbing. After day two, they were ad-libbing this thing every single day, in my opinion.
Venezuela happened because there was no military response.
Right.
Why was there no military response?
Because
I read from more than one, what you read clippings, the CIA had been there 6 months. They cut a deal with the Army that when we have the president gets gone, we'll have elections, and they would not just take over militarily, but they could pick their candidate and get elected, and we wouldn't fight it.
The woman that gave him the was it the woman that gave him the Nobel Peace Prize?
I don't really pay attention, but the idea was that the military, you don't mess with this, we're going to get rid of him. The military didn't like him anyway.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, so the point was, do what you want afterwards. We're going to get rid of this guy.
Welcome home, Michael. What are you doing Saturday?
Catching up still.
Your time to buy lunch.
And I don't.
Your time to buy lunch. Let's go.
I don't.
8:30, 9 o'clock.
We'll see, but I doubt it.
Come on, I'll have you home by 2 o'clock.
You said that the last time. I'm going to get him like 3:30.
Well, with Mexicali.
Oh, well, we had a really slow foursome ahead of us, remember?
Yes, we did.
It took us like 4 hours and 45 minutes instead of 3 hours and 45 minutes.
That's very rare. Sam and I did it in 3.5 last Sunday.
That's good. That should be what you should do. You should be 3.5.
Inside of 4. Yeah.
That's the club kind of. That's the thing. People move along and they don't delay, but those guys were all taking 20 minutes to decide how to putt
the PGA has ruined recreational golf. Mike Turnipseed, everybody. Quick timeout. Our money man, Daniel Petrie, at the bottom of the hour. Then Jim Park. Speaking of BCC, the head pro at Bakersfield Country Club will check in on how our local boy, Manav Shah, is doing in the 126th U.S. Open. That's all coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Yes, it is. What are you talking about?
Kern Radio. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Even after 5.
Step into the spotlight at the all-new and always thrilling Hard Rock Casino Tejon, just 15 miles south of Bakersfield. Play your favorites across over 2,000 slot machines, plus baccarat, blackjack, roulette, and craps. And with Unity, whatever you do, you get rewarded. Play here and redeem at other Hard Rock properties. Enjoy live entertainment, exceptional dining, and energy only Hard Rock can deliver. Hard Rock Casino Tejon. It all happens here. Must be 21 or older. Concerned about your gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Every Thursday at 4:30, Daniel Petrie lightens up the broadcast with his incredible wit, pure intelligence, political knowledge, and obviously an absolute master of economics. That's why he's such an important cog of this broadcast. You can hear him even on some of his off days when there are financial movements that we can't explain. We lean on my man from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. Of course, you know what they're all about. They're all about retirement. I've turned at least 3 or 4 different people on to Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors, and they could not be happier.
And
you could be happy as well with your situation in terms of the fourth quarter in your life. If you call 395-9400, 395-9400, the offices of Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors.
This broadcast is for informational purposes. It does not constitute investment advice or a solicitation for advisory services by Daniel Petrie or MPWA Incorporated, DBA, Messmaker, and Petrie Wealth Advisors. The program host is a client and receives compensation and other financial benefits.
No, he's not.
This advertisement, creating a conflict of interest. Experiences discussed may not be representative of other clients.
The first Top Shelf Country cruise showed out. The bar set at exceptional. Don't miss the second sailing in March 2027 aboard the luxurious Celebrity Summit, departing from Tampa with stops in Bimini, Key West, and Cozumel. Plus, performances from some of your favorite country artists, including Riley
Cowan
Green,
was the
Chris
kid that
Young,
was
Lauren
leading when I
Elena,
left
and
the
Randy
house,
Hauser.
and he's
Our
at one
price
under.
guarantee locks in your best
And now
deal the
Will
moment
Clark
you book.
is
No
leading
surprises. Don't settle
3.
for anything
Ooh,
less
Dustin
than Top
Johnson's
Shelf.
at 3.
Reserve your cabin at TopShelfCountryCruise.com.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
Rory's in
That's
at
why
1. He's a
LifeLock
good
monitors
leaderboard.
hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is
DeChambeau's at
way more
1.
than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert
DeChambeau's
you
at
right away,
12.
all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Central Valley, that means local service, including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community, looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Want to thank Mr. Turnip Seed. Even bought me a gift. Not really. He found something from his golf tournament and gave it to me. And we don't even know what it is, really. It's a distances to front, center, back of the green. Oh, it's a rangefinder. Why didn't you say that then?
Read the box.
That's not what you said. You didn't say it was a rangefinder. Golf Buddy. I've never seen this. So what do? I just attach this to my hat?
You charge it and clip it on your belt
or my hat or something? Just put it right there.
And clip it somewhere?
You could.
Wow, that's pretty cool, actually.
There's a charger in there and everything, a cable. And it picks up your golf course.
I'll charge it right here. Where is it? Where's the charger?
It's there someplace.
Oh, well. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
I found this that I don't use them, so.
Since I'm thumping the ball so far, I'm going to need to know my distances. Quick timeout. We're headed to the back half of the hour. It's a time for our money man, Daniel Petrie. And at the top of the hour, we're headed to the Northeast to Bakersfield Country Club. Jim Park, the head pro and a very dear friend of Manav Shah. Manav is 2 over par after 8 holes. He's on the back 9, so he's playing 18, meaning he's just 5 shots off the lead. If he can make just a couple of birdies coming in and get to even or just stay at 2, he's going to screw around and make the cut. I think he is. I really do.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The U.S. lifted its blockade of Iran and oil tankers began freely moving through the Strait of Hormuz after months of being unable to use the critical channel. It happened Thursday as the tentative agreement to end the war took effect. And the Trump administration envoy told U.S. lawmakers in a private briefing that Iran will invite the UN's nuclear watchdog agency to inspect its nuclear sites. The Supreme Court has ruled against a broad federal ban on gun ownership by marijuana users. The decision Thursday is the latest in a line of firearms cases from a court that has expanded gun rights. The justices decided unanimously in favor of a Texas man who argued that the law barring guns from anyone who regularly uses illegal drugs violates the Second Amendment. More details at srnnews.com.
I know.
You get on the apron.
Maybe this is YouTube. There's enormous.
They have that
Current
too.
radio.
Sundown now.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230.
Because my group is just old
KERN.
guys.
Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
They pull up. Right on.
I'm Chris Davis. The theft of an ambulance Wednesday afternoon from outside a hospital in Tulare County has a person under arrest. Police say that person drove the ambulance all the way to Bakersfield at high speeds, pursued by Kern County deputies, and crashed it into a tree on Highway 99 before they were arrested Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, come on, let's go get him
Formal
early.
approval has been given to go ahead and remove the name Cesar Chavez from the park previously named for him, and also to rename Cesar Chavez Lane to just Chavez Lane in Delano. An informal approval has been in place since April with the understanding that the city council would approve the changes, which happened this week. The park will be renamed Ellington Park. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
And plus, most of them know me. I mean, I sat in there.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. When that light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horse is prancing around as silky smooth as your right foot. fancy prancer do. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
The Colonel's cooked up a new $10 bucket of the day just for you. Monday, 24 nuggets for $10. Tuesday, 8-piece fried chicken for $10. Wednesday, 10 wings for $10. Thursday, 8 tenders for $10. Friday, 24 nuggets for
from the Blues. I'll play from the
you
Whites.
guessed it, didn't you? $10.
I'm not saying I can compete with
The
them.
$10 bucket of the day deal every weekday, only at KFC. It's finger.
I'm not saying I
licking
can
good.
compete with them,
Supplies last not available.
but I can hang with them. I could
Attention,
hang with them.
Medicare beneficiaries in Kern County.
I'm not
Are you
making
looking for a
sevens
doctor who
anymore.
truly listens? Someone who
I'm
cares
not
about
leaving it
your
in the
health and
trap
respects your
anymore.
time with minimal wait times and prompt referral authorizations?
Yeah.
Well, it may be time to learn about
yeah.
QualCare IPA. QualCare IPA partners with most Medicare Advantage health plans, giving you access to a large, community-based network of
Hell, when I was
outstanding
good, I wasn't
physicians
good.
and quality hospitals right here in
When I
Kern
was-
County. Local doctors, trusted hospitals,
I used to
personalized
shoot
care.
for
Medicare
84,
Advantage plans
85,
offer
and
benefits
I
beyond
could make a
original
couple bucks and
Medicare,
shoot
but
at
understanding
80,
your
81,
options for
and a really good
2026 can
day.
feel overwhelming. That's where we can
Now
help.
I can't-
Call
I can't get below-
661-554-4544 today to learn more about your Medicare
86.
Advantage choices. Our knowledgeable team is ready to help you understand your coverage
Can't get
options
below-
and make confident
I shot
decisions
85,
about your care.
84.
Again,
I
that's
just can't put 2 rounds
661-554-4544.
That is Mr.
Get the information you need
Don't
and the
ask me why.
coverage you deserve.
And all he's
For
got in there,
accommodations
sometimes
for
he'll
persons
leave
with
it open.
special needs at meetings,
All he's
call
got in there is like
661-554-4544 TTY
Pens.
711.
First Look with Scott Cox, morning
pretty damn
6 to 9 a.m.
On the Friday edition of the First
Pretty
Look program, we
doggone
have the latest.
seriously.
The county's suing the city. There's no other way to
There
put it.
goes
It's
Katie.
insane, but we're doing it. We got obviously World Cup news.
leader.
We've got news, traffic, weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at
She's
News Talk
gonna leave
96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
The girls will get hit.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Hey, folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio
No, they
program.
can
You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
That's very.
So come on, give us time. 8:39 pop. It's a Thursday. Time to end the 21st of Oak. The offices of Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors, Mr. Daniel Petrie. How are you, sir?
I am well, and I am not on vacation.
You are one of the few. One of the few.
What is wrong with us, Ralph?
Y'all make too much money. I got a bunch of rich regulars who can take 2-3 weeks during the summer and go to the London Isles and Japan and Nashville, and I'm going to El Segundo.
El Segundo.
Bye, Mike. Mike Turnipseed, everybody.
Yeah, turnip seed. Where did he go?
He went to the London Isles and Wales and British Isles, excuse me. What did I say? What did I say?
London Isles?
London Isles? Yeah, that's crazy.
London Isles.
Scotland?
I thought maybe it was next to the London Tower
Yes.
or something. Yeah.
No, the British Isles. We talked about this before he left. There are several names. What's the difference between the British Isles, Great Britain? That's about it. I don't know. United Kingdom. I mean, it's got so many damn different names. So many different names. Anyway, you have to be cautiously happy.
Why is that?
Because there is a National Basketball Association rumor flying around.
That we got Giannis.
That's what I heard.
The Greek Freak.
The Greek Freak. Now, the
heard the
issue
rumor.
is, can you get him to play 60, 70 games? That's the key.
Is he healthy?
Is he healthy?
Because he played his heart out for Milwaukee when he was.
Yes, he did, but he hasn't played in 60 games in 4 years.
You know,
That's crazy.
I would hate to be an executive because there's just so many question marks.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know how well they'll blend in. You don't know the people you give up. Maybe you go backwards instead of forwards.
Are you willing to give up Jaylen Brown for Giannis?
It tears me a little bit. If we get the Giannis from 5 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, true. But
But
if he
if
comes
he's,
in and plays 40 games, it's been a bust.
Yeah.
Because Jaylen Brown, I thought, was the MVP last year.
He
I really did.
He carried he. Yeah, it's hard with the two Jasons.
Yeah. There was no way in the world I thought that they were going to be able to keep their head above water without Tatum. And
they
he
did.
carried him. Jaylen Brown
He
carried
did.
him. Absolutely.
In a different way, but he did carry him.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I'm fascinated to see what we do, and my Red Sox are so terrible right now.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring that up.
I
Wasn't going to bring it up.
And they tease me. It's like, oh, we got some pitching, but we only had 2 hits. So how do you win? Or, oh my gosh, we scored 5 runs, but we happen to give up 7. So,
Yeah.
We lose again.
So there's been a dramatic turn of events. The president says we're signing this thing on Friday in Geneva. He's released the MOU, the Memo of Understanding, and nobody likes it. How does the economy like it?
I think they like the fact that of course, they're assuming that it will be over. There's a lot to assume there.
Yeah.
You would think it wouldn't be that difficult to misinterpret a page and a half, but Iran seems to be already doing that. Like, it means this.
Well, exactly. That's why it can't be a page and a half. That's why the JCPOA took almost a year to form. That's why the JCPO was filled with pages, because particularly with the Iranians, you have to dot every I, you have to cross every T, because they're going to do their very, very best to finagle out of a deal.
Do you think that failed? Okay, I know Trump took us out of it, but it seemed to me like it was failing before that.
What do you mean?
The Barack deal with Iran.
The JCPOA?
Yeah.
I just don't think it went further enough.
Okay.
Was my issue.
It was okay, but it just didn't. It didn't rein them in enough.
No, and it had a sunset on it,
which in a way is a failure, I suppose.
That's why everybody dogged it. But the reality is, the JCPOA, and this is the first time I've ever said this, is light years better than this idiot agreement that we are about to sign, because basically we're signing an agreement to talk about an agreement in 60 days.
We don't quite know what the agreement. We know what they're saying will be in the agreement,
right?
But we don't know what the agreement will be.
And even the Iranians are denying some of what the president is claiming that they've already signed off on.
Yeah.
And again, just to remind everybody, that's why I've been stressing, you got to play these things straight.
Yeah, I know.
This isn't a campaign. This isn't a debate.
From the beginning.
Yes, you've got to play it straight, because then they're going to call your bluff. The country, we look stupid. We look like we got taken, in my opinion.
I'm crossing my fingers that when they finally do sign a real document, that it will be better.
I don't see how.
I know, I'm crossing my fingers.
Yeah.
Part of me wonders, and this is sad because I hate the thought of it, but it almost seems to me like, as it is now, we just got to go in there and bomb them every 5, 7, 9, 10 years. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And
Well,
kind of push them back so they don't get a nuke. And
I think we recognize that, at least I did, that either this was going to make him the greatest president since Abraham Lincoln, if he could actually change behavior, not regimes necessarily, because that was a stupid goal. That was an idiotic goal. But if we could just moderate their behavior, and I suppose this $300 billion is the carrot that's supposed to do that. But I'm sorry, I don't like the idea, and I don't give a damn that it's not coming out of our pockets, because the money that Barack Obama gave them didn't come out of our pockets. That was frozen assets. That was their money.
Only we could have had the people. I think they were really hoping that people would rise up, but I don't know.
Well, we talked about
they get brutalized.
Yeah, we talked about that with Howard. They gave guns, and the Kurds took them.
Yeah, I mean,
they can't win.
I know it.
And that's the other problem I have with the $300 billion. Yeah, they're going to behave enough to get that money back. But once they get that money, Daniel, do you think they're really going to build apartment buildings and homes for the people that they've slaughtered? The tens of thousands of people that they've slaughtered in the past? Do you really think they're going to take that $300 billion and worry about their peeps? I doubt it. I doubt it very seriously.
No.
I mean, if you're capable of killing thousands of your own people,
they're going to go right back to doing what they want.
Right back to their old script. Right back.
Leads me to believe, and we're going to have to bomb them again if we can even get away with that. I mean, I suppose you could have a president in power that would say, "No, I don't want to. I don't care what."
How could another president go down this route?
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless he had like hard intel that they are a day away from a nuclear weapon, it could make the case to the American people.
Yeah,
There's no way you could go in without making a case before the
you
American
have
people.
to make the case.
Yes.
Hopefully, the supervision of their activities will be so boldened in the deal that, but I don't know why they would ever. What is their incentive to sign off on something like
Nothing.
No,
Nothing whatsoever. Just biding time. They'll sign the paper, and that gives them 2 months.
that? Yeah.
That gives them 2 months, and they'll rebuild drones. They'll get some drones from Vladimir Putin, even though the president thanked Xi and Putin, which I didn't understand either. But they're flooding them with drones. They're giving them the technology at minimum.
Do you think it made them stronger? Because I hear that
Yes.
argument from some
Yes.
people that they think it made them
Yes.
stronger.
Yes, they have leverage.
Ugh.
They control those companies, no matter what Trump says, and no matter what military we put in the Strait of Hormuz, those billion-dollar companies
won't go through
there if there's some fear that there are mines in that strait. And that's all they have to say. They don't have to lay them down. They don't have to lay them down. They can just say, last night we laid them down.
Think it will.
We got about 57 mines in the strait. And if you're an insurance company, you're not going to okay that.
Yeah.
It's not.
No. Put your anchor down and stay put.
Damn Skippy. Damn Skippy.
What a mess.
It is a mess. It really is.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, sometimes I wonder if we couldn't just, Israel will support you in any way you can. Just go do what you got to do.
And that's another issue.
That might be more
Israel.
successful. Yeah.
We signed an agreement and didn't even show it to Benjamin Netanyahu. And as if they're really going to stop chasing Hezbollah in Lebanon.
Yeah, there's a lot of argument. Iran says this means Israel not only has to get out, but quit bombing them, and nothing about Hezbollah. Stop throwing rockets at Israel.
Exactly.
And we can't expect Israel not to defend themselves, because what a mess.
It really, truly is. It truly, truly is. I've got some audio I'm going to play from some staunch conservative Republicans who think this is an absolute disaster. Trey Gowdy and Batya Unger Sargon, who I love.
Some people think that it'll blow up and we're going to have a bigger issue over there.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point. I have no idea, Daniel. I'm just not that smart.
It sure seems like Iran doesn't quite care. I mean, they don't mind if it's a bigger issue because
no, they don't. No, they don't.
I just don't. How do you? I liken it to Ralph Bailey's going to die in a week, and I go to Ralph and I say, "Give me all your money, or I'm going to shoot you." And you're like, "Go ahead, I don't care." I'm dead in a week.
Yeah,
they don't care.
I think they care about that $300 billion. I think that's the only thing that's dragging them to the table.
The economic sanctions on the strait was effective. But again, I kind of agree with you. It's like, well, this didn't work. What do we do now? Let's try this. That didn't work. Let's try this. The sanctions were effective. I think it brought them to the table.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's take a
How do you keep doing it? Go ahead.
Yeah, let's take a look at the deficit and the economy. I'm running out of time.
So yeah, deficit went up another little over 29 billion. We are going to hit. I ran the numbers today because I was curious. I think we'll be at 40 trillion by the end of the year.
We predicted that.
I know it.
We predicted that.
It'll be close, but I think we'll be over if things continue as they are.
Do people get any? I don't think even I have a grasp for how much money that really is.
No, I don't even think people. We've been living with the deficit for so long that everybody assumes it doesn't matter.
40 trillion.
It will matter. I mean,
it would take decades to knock that down.
It's almost like Ralph Bailey lives extravagantly, but he can cover all his debts. Well, what happens if his debts go up 10%, 20%, 30%? How long?
Unbelievable.
It will end ugly if we don't do anything about it. I know we keep saying this, but nobody seems to want to do anything about it.
Nope. Not one inclination. Not one.
And again, it's equivalent to, okay, well, Ralph Bailey lives extravagantly, but he can afford it. He's fine. What if what if things go up? What if the rate on his mortgage doubles? Can he afford that payment? And then all of a sudden, it is a problem.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Where is Calvin Coolidge when we need him? Who left office with a completely balanced budget?
Isn't that
1928.
Seems absurd.
Doesn't it? Almost 100 years ago.
How much money has gone to warfare since that time?
Oh my God! It's
if you
immeasurable.
added that up, it would be
in the trillions. It'd be in the trillions.
It'd be crazy.
It,
how many wars have we had?
Since Cool Cal, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Persian Gulf.
Well, yeah, quite
Afghanistan. Yeah, we've had close to 10. Close to 10 times we put men in harm's way.
And they don't get cheap. Those bombs are not,
And we've now got to rebuild.
Yep.
We've got to absolutely rebuild because, China still has its eye on Taiwan. So real quick, look at silver and gold. Let's get out of here.
Believe it or not, they were down. Gold was down a little bit, a little over 4,200 last I looked.
That hurts.
And silver's a little under 66. But we are getting, I believe, very close to levels that we should start to rally. There's been some damage on the charts, so we could go back and forth for a while, but I think we're getting close to a bottoming process.
I certainly hope so.
Yep. It'll be nice to see things start heading north again. And the market seems to like the fact that, I don't know, this 2-page deal has been signed that says we're going to have a deal.
Yeah.
I think they just want it over.
Let's just say a prayer, Daniel. Say a prayer.
I know. There's a lot that can go wrong.
Yep.
And we live in a complicated world.
Yes, we do. Always.
Happy Juneteenth.
Yes, sir. This weekend.
Juneteenth become an actual holiday.
An actual holiday?
Because I forget about it every year because it hasn't been around that long.
Well, black folks have been celebrating it for a long time. I celebrated in Morehouse College in the 80s.
Federal holiday. I apologize.
Yeah, that's fairly recent. Hey, Siri, when did Juneteenth become a federal holiday?
The day was recognized as a federal holiday in 2021.
Yeah, it's only been 5 years.
Yeah, that's why. It's fairly recent.
Big holiday for black folks, though. It's going to be a big bash out here, and I'm going to be in Lemert Park. Oh, God dang it.
I thought you said El Segundo.
No, I'm going to be in Lemert Park.
Okay.
I forgot, and I just asked Turnipseed to play golf. Totally forgot about it.
Uh-oh.
All right, sir. Yes, sir. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next Thursday. You too. Daniel Petrie with Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors, the smartest financial move I've ever made in my life, becoming a client, turning on our colleagues here as well. Call him today at 395-9400, 395-9400. And his office is located right on the corner of 21st and Oak. We'll take a short time out, have a little time before we get into the 5. And when we do, we're headed up to the northeast to Bakersfield Country Club to talk with the head pro there, Jen Park, personal friend of Manav Shah, who last we checked was on the back 9. He started on 10 and was even par, just 5 shots off the lead. We'll check that before we talk with Jen Park coming up at 5:05. Don't go anywhere. This is the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1, AM 1230, and we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Friday edition of the First Look program, we have the latest. The county's suing the city. There's no other way to put it. It's insane, but we're doing it. We got, obviously, World Cup news. We've got news, traffic, weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
I'm headed to KC Steakhouse tonight simply to beat the heat. Rather than using up my air conditioning, I'm going to go use Cassie Biddles. Now I can leave my AC at about 81, 82. And when I walk into the house about 7:30, 8 o'clock, after I have either the salmon or the Ralph Bailey, the chicken breast, smothered in the mushroom and creamy spinach sauce with maybe some, I don't know, maybe go with some sliced tomatoes and the vegetables. By the time I get home by 7:30, 8 o'clock, it's cool enough where I can just settle in and enjoy. So where would you rather be? A great way to beat the heat. Head to F Street and be under the care of Cassie Biddle's lovely ladies. When Rick Bentley finally went to Casey's Steakhouse, he told me, I see why you go there. The women are beautiful and the food is great. Rick raved about the pork chop that he had. And I told you, Romeo Agbalag, we had dinner the other night, and he had the ribeye that was surrounded in bacon and stuffed with blue cheese. Where would you rather be than KC Steakhouse, longtime sponsor of the Ralph Bailey Show?
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities, so do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Dun, 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 dun. This is the one album I really didn't like. They started taking LSD and started getting a little out there. Although this is a great song, though. Hearts Club Band, we hope you will enjoy the show.
I really like the album cover of this one too.
That multicolored thing?
Oh, it's just
or is
all
that the
like,
Yellow Submarine?
them in multicolored mariachi outfits, and then all the cutouts next to them and stuff.
Yeah, and Paul's wearing like a uniform of some sort, or
Yeah, well, they all are kind of.
are they? Crazy, crazy, crazy. 60s. So glad I was a child in the 60s. Like a child. Like I don't remember much of the set. The only thing I remember the 60s was living on the base in New York. Chris Williams and I trying to dig to China. And the little corporals that would have to salute my dad whenever we came on the base. I loved that. And seeing my dad in that white Richard Gere, an officer in a gentleman Navy outfit, that to me, that is even badder than the Marine uniform. Because the Marine uniform is pretty badass. But the whites, the Navy whites, and I always like the ones with the short sleeve.
They just look clean.
They do. And I'm telling you, when I started babysitting, my parents would not even be on Bedford Avenue.
Right.
They would still be pulling out the driveway and I already got my dad's uniform on. It was the first thing I did whenever they would leave. I don't know why. And it's not like I was like 8 or 9. I was a full-blown teenager talking about, I put on his hat and his jacket. All right, Patrice, Bettina, there's a new sheriff in town. His name is Lieutenant Commander Ralph Bailey. That's right. Get in there and make me a sandwich.
Junior.
Well, whatever. Get in there and make a Lieutenant Commander a sandwich. My sisters were like afraid of me for a little bit. And then once I got about 15, 16, and Patrice was like 10, 11. Screw you, Ralph. Damn, it's gone. I had it for a little bit. Particularly when my friends would come over. Because my friends, Tempero was a pretty boy. And all my relatives loved Tempero. Sewsbury's daughters made me sick. And this is the same John Tempero, pretty boy, shortstop, quarterback, who was dating the hottest black girl in 7th and 8th grade. Because in 7th and 8th grade, you have no shot with a 9th grader. No chance. Maybe as a 7th grader, you could date an 8th grader because we had junior high parties. But there's no way a 9th grader was dating a 7th grader in high school. No way in the world. Just wasn't happening. In fact, the only person that dated like 2 grades under their own grade was Tony Griffin, Merv Griffin's son, who was a junior dating Elizabeth Goth, who was in 7th grade. And everybody was like, yeah, it's kind of creepy.
Kinda?
No, son. Not if you saw Elizabeth Goth. She left school. Let me just put it this way. She left high school in 11th grade, private school, meaning her parents had to have signed off on it to go to Europe and be a model. This girl did not look like a 7th grader. And they looked like an adult couple because Tony in 11th grade looked like he was 25 years old.
Yeah, but she's still in 7th grade. She's 12.
Well, that's what we used to tell him. We used to tell him, dude, she's not even, she doesn't have to buy products. And Tony would clap back, good. Jen Park, BCC Pro, joins us next.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN, 96.1 FM, K241CI Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
From Town Hall, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The U.S. and Iran signed an initial deal to end the war, ease sanctions, and open the strait as nuclear talks continue.
Both the U.S. and Iranian presidents have signed an initial agreement to end the war between the United States and Iran. The White House had planned a signing ceremony on Friday in Switzerland, but its state is now uncertain with conflicting information from the U.S., Iran, and Pakistan. President Donald Trump signed a physical copy of the agreement on Wednesday at Versailles.
He took it to the junior
While
prom.
Iranian state TV aired photos on Thursday of President Masoud Pezeshkian signing the deal in Tehran. I'm Karen Shamas.
There's a new poll about healthcare affordability.
New data from the West Health Gallup Affordability Index shows that only half of U.S. adults could afford their health care and had access to quality care last year. Concerns about affording health care in the year ahead were also at a record high since tracking began in 2021. The survey, conducted from October to December 2025, shows that inflation and rising healthcare costs were straining Americans even before healthcare cuts took effect this year. Many are worried they won't be able to pay for care. The findings show a decline in healthcare affordability across various demographics, including among younger adults, older adults, and women. Haya Panjwani, Washington.
The Supreme Court has ruled against a broad federal ban on gun ownership by marijuana users. The decision Thursday is the latest in a line of firearms cases from a court that has expanded Second Amendment rights. On Wall Street, a good day as the Dow was up by 72 points. The Nasdaq rose 496. The S&P advanced 80. Oil near $76 a barrel. More on these stories at townhall.com.
So many people have hired the wrong tax company. They tell you what you want to hear and not what they can deliver. Many of us have heard the stories, and they don't end well. Hi, we're Legal Tax Defense, and I'm here to tell you that all tax companies are not created equal. We're the nation's leading tax relief firm, and we've saved taxpayers millions over the past 15 years. If you've been struggling and owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, get help today and call 800-683-6853. If you're still receiving letters from the IRS, have unfiled tax returns, or facing active collections, call Legal Tax Defense now for a free, no-cost consultation. If we can't resolve and settle your case with the IRS, no one can. Get protected today by calling Legal Tax Defense at 800-683-6853. You could save thousands. Call 800-683-6853, 800-683-6853, or visit LegalTaxDefense.com.
The Trump administration is buying.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
The case of the stolen ambulance. I'm Chris Davis. The ambulance was stolen from a hospital in Tulare County Wednesday afternoon, say police, and was finally stopped when it hit a tree on Highway 99 in Bakersfield, and the suspect arrested. Police believe the person who stole it was a patient at the hospital, jumped inside when a paramedic was in the passenger seat and hit the gas, recklessly driving at high speeds while being followed by Kern County deputies until the ambulance finally wrecked. The paramedic had been able to get out by that time. In another case of disrespect for the proper use of a vehicle, former Kern County Detention Officer Patrick McNeil now has a date of August 7th to be in court to determine if his case will go to trial. He's charged with 9 felonies and some misdemeanors, too, for a March incident in which he is accused of driving drunk and hitting 3 parked cars with his van. After being given a ticket and a ride to the house, charging documents say he got in another car 2 hours later and had another wreck. Cesar Chavez Park in Delano is no longer named Cesar Chavez Park. It's now Ellington Park, and Cesar Chavez Lane is now just Chavez Lane, after formal approval for the changes was granted this week by the Delano City Council, a move that they have been considering since April, and that was already given an informal nod, with sign changes already in the works in preparation for the formal approval.
Right afterwards,
in Ridgecrest, Sidney Maiden is back in jail. The parolee was arrested Wednesday afternoon about 3:20 when he was pulled over by Ridgecrest police on North Albert Lane. Because he was out on parole, he was not allowed to have what police say he had in the car with him, which was a loaded semi-automatic pistol with a high-capacity magazine. Now he's booked on several weapons charges for being a felon in possession of a firearm. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
Trying to break
To the rest of a month from now, this Hollywood Big Shot's going to give you what you want.
because I'm sitting out there.
Start shooting in a week. I'm going to make him an offer again.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast on this Thursday, 18th day of June. Still lots to do before we get out of here. I've got some audio from Trey Gowdy criticizing the Memo of Understanding, the MOU. Batya Unger Sargon, a CNN contributor. We'll hear from her as well. And we'll talk a little sports. There's some really positive rumors floating around MLB that Mr. Scoble is out, and there's an 85% chance, I am told, that he will be traded to either the Dynasty or that other team in New York City. I forget their names, the damn Yankees. But we'll follow up on that. Tommy Edman was back last night as the Dodgers 5-4. They got a night off tonight, and Baltimore comes into town tomorrow night. And what else we got going on? Oh, we'll talk about airfares before we get out of here as well. But as we've been talking about all week, as we've been talking about really for a month, our man Manav Shah is in the midst of his front nine. He started on 10, so he's on the back, finishing up. The last I saw, he was at 2 over par. And the leaders, Dustin Johnson and Wyndham Clark. Well, now Wyndham Clark is at 6, actually. and Dustin Johnson's at 4. Matt Fitzpatrick is 3 under. They're a group at 2, a very large group of well-known names as well. Rory McIlroy leads the group at 1 under. And like I said, our boy is at 2 on the front 9. Joining us is his very dear friend and the head pro up at Bakersfield Country Club and a good friend of the program, Jin Park. Jin, thanks for taking the time coming on.
Hey, good evening. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, are you from Los Angeles?
You know,
I saw
grew
your
up in Burbank.
I think I knew that actually. Now I do remember. I did know that because I saw your area code and I was like, is he from? And I just realized we just talked about this actually. We just talked about this a couple of weeks ago. My bad.
We did.
Yeah, my bad. So before we talk about our boy with Wyndham now at 6 under, let's hope he makes a couple bogeys to come in, to be honest with you. But where do you think where do you think the cut will be on Saturday or Friday night?
It's a tough course. You know, a lot of the guys are, struggling. You know, to be honest, I think if you just keep it at about 2 over, 3 over par, I think that will be my guess. That will be the cut, I feel like.
Yeah. Have you been able to watch Monum today at all, or you've been busy?
I've been following him almost every shot. The USGA app has a pretty cool feature right now. If you do like a shot tracer and stuff, and then click him as a favorite player, you can see each individual shot and what he did, basically from the tee shot to all the way to the finish of the hole.
Really? I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
They've got him at 3 over. He just made a bogey on 1. Has he made any birdies today? Has he been playing?
No, he has not. I believe he has all pars. He just made a bogey. I know he had a double in the back 9.
Oh, that's too bad. Did you get an opportunity to talk with him before? I mean, really talk with him before he left?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he was up there all the way till the last minute, talking with the members, of course, coming out with, Paul Guerra and stuff. He is one of the title sponsors.
Yeah.
As well as a lot of, local guys, so they've been coming up almost every day. I think he left on Saturday, and he got there on Sunday, I believe.
Yeah. Did any of the local guys go back with him?
Yeah, I know majority of his family did. I know some of our members went there. But it's a big deal, definitely.
Absolutely. What do you think he has to shoot to make the cut?
I think 3 over. I think that is the number. It's playing tough. Some of the guys, I feel like this morning might have played a little bit tougher. Because after the morning crowd, I feel like it's gotten a little bit easier. But of course, it's U.S. Open. They try to make it as tough as possible.
Yeah. I mean, they've got it such that if you hit it in the rough, that's a bogey, right? You can't make par out of that rough, right?
It'll be pretty amazing if you stay par.
Yeah. Talking with Jin Park, he's the head pro at Bakersfield Country Club and a very good friend of Manav Shah, who's competing in the 126th U.S. Open. You're a pro. What's the mindset? You can't really. Do you try to set a score, or do you really literally play shot to shot to shot, or is he now thinking, man, I'm 3 over. I'm probably right on the number. I need to at least make 1 birdie before I get in. Can you think like that?
Yeah, I think it all depends on the player, but I had a, of course, great chance to pick Manav's brain a little bit before he left. He basically told me he just wants to go have fun. He's played with probably, more than 30-40% of the guys on the field.
Yeah.
Either in his college career, his professional career. He's played with all those guys, and he knows what he's capable of doing. So, he just got to go out there and then show the world basically, what he's made out of.
Yeah. And his wife is on the bag, right? Is that right?
That I can't answer that. I believe last time I heard it was he had a PG Tour caddy with him.
Oh, he did? Okay.
I know that his wife was the caddy when he did make the cut.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, where he shot 5 under down there and beat guys like Sergio Garcia. Incredible.
I mean, a lot of the guys. It's crazy. I mean, this is one of the golf's longest months, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got the game. He's certainly got the game. You know all the local pros. Are there any others that we might see emerging? Jared Kaneshita had a really nice BC Open. Is there anybody else that might jump on the Corn Ferry Tour and maybe start qualifying for some of these tournaments?
I think a lot of the guys, maybe Adam Duncan. He's been traveling quite a bit here and there. He is also a member of ours.
Mm-hmm.
I know Jared. He does have a wrist injury and stuff.
Oh, does he really? Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's been a little bit tougher lately, but of course, the Manav and stuff like that. I think those are the good local guys out there right now.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. Pretty exciting stuff. And what's going on out at BCC? I was just there over the weekend. The course looks outstanding.
It's fantastic right now. We are changing out all the collars of the green. So we are changing it to a hybrid Bermuda so that it won't creep into the green.
Nice.
So we are doing a little closure next week. We already started the back 9, and then we'll be starting the front 9 next week.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so it'll be in pristine shape, after about, I say about 3 weeks or so.
Okay.
It'll be pristine.
Yeah, and you're lengthening the course as well. Talk about that a little bit.
Yep, we are. We have lengthened about, I'd say close to about 150 yards or so. We are in the process of trying to lengthen it and get, reach to about 7,000 or more.
Yeah.
Right now, we are just a little shy of 7,000.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave you with this. Speaking of distances, how are golf courses, you're in the business, are going to deal with this in the next 5, 10, 15 years when obviously these guys are just going to continue to bomb it and there's only so much property? How are they going to handle this? Are they going to have to, in fact, there's talk of drawing back the ball perhaps?
Yep, I know that the ball drawback is in place. It should be coming up soon. I know that USGA regulates some of the driver specs. They might be a little bit tighter on that. But, for the golf course standpoint, you'll just have to make the greens a lot faster and just make the surrounding, like such as rough or trouble areas a little bit tougher, higher bunkers, higher roughs, faster greens, undulated greens. So that will be the only defense for
absolutely.
These professionals to go low.
Not sure you can make them much faster than you got them out there at BCC, man. Because if you're above the hole, you're trying to 2-putt from 10 feet, or at least I am. I know that. That's just me, though.
Same here. Trust me.
Come on. Always good to talk to you, Jen. We're crossing our fingers for our boy. I appreciate you taking the time and coming on the program.
Perfect. Thank you, Ralph.
All right, man. Take care.
Okay.
Jim Park, head pro at Bakersfield Country Club. I think it's the finest course in Kern County. Shot a 43 on the back. Almost got in Sam's kitchen. He shot a 41. That's right. I'm not telling you what I shot on the front. 46. I had a decent round going, and I made a double on 8, the par 3. I was in the bunker. I barely got it out, and I knocked it past my putt off the apron, about 5 feet. And yes, I was uphill. So I had an uphill, downhill slider from right to left for 4 and missed it. Double bogey to par 5. Just don't make a par 3, I mean. Made a 5 on a 3. Don't make no sense. Just don't make no sense. Take a quick time out. We'll come back, check the board, see what you all are talking about. Like I said, we got some miscellaneous news and notes to give. We'll talk about airfares, talk a little sports. I've got some audio from yesterday that I forgot to play that I want to play for you. I told you that KGET had identified some of the local pilots who were killed in that B-52 downing out at Edwards. And what this widow says, I think is incredibly poignant. We'll play that before we get out of here. You're listening, in the meantime, to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. And we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
2 things. 1, did you want to do Luigi's?
You got one?
Yeah, I do. 2, The widow audio, you have that, right?
No, it's that audio from the widow, the Laura Smith. Yeah, you never sent me. You didn't get that from yesterday? No. The KGT stuff?
And AM 1230, KERN.
I think there's one thing that we can all agree upon,
says
those
the
of
toilet
us who
broken?
have visited Luigi's Restaurant and Old World Delicatessen, and that is that the warehouse has been an absolute game changer. I know there's some folks that have never been to Luigi's, but have been to the warehouse. And there are a number of events and fundraisers and all kind of things that go on there. And Gino serves up the Chateaubriand with the Saco beans. Are you kidding? With the chicken choice as well? Where would you rather be? And of course, I've told you how to go about Luigi's on a Friday or a Saturday. I'd start in the deli, check out some of the Italian wines, talk to Lynette. She's one of the best sommeliers you'll ever run into. Then go have a cocktail with Julie as you're waiting to be seated. And then maybe go out to the Bailey Bar or inside. It's a little hot these days, but where would you rather be than at Luigi's Restaurant and Old World Delicatessen, longtime sponsor of the Ralph Bailey Show.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Are you looking for a hospital that truly cares for your health and well-being? At Good Samaritan Hospital, they provide high-quality medical detox, psychiatric services, and medical and surgical care. They accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal, Medicare, and Kern Family. They offer Kern County's longest-standing inpatient detox program with dual diagnosis that combines medical care and withdrawal management all under one roof. Learn more at GoodSamaritanHospital.com or call 661-215-7500. Good Samaritan Hospital. They care for their community.
Before you hit the road for the holidays, make sure your car is ready for the journey. Kern Oil Change keeps your engine running smooth and your family safe. No appointments needed. Just drive in and their fast, friendly team will get you back on the road in minutes. Don't wait till you're stuck on the side of the road. Stop by Kern Oil Change today and travel with confidence this holiday season. Kern Oil Change has 2 locations to serve you, 3706 Coffee Road and 5651 Auburn Street. Kern Oil Change is open 7 days a week. Follow us on Instagram for additional savings.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
See, this is where they lost me. Closer we got to the 70s, the more they lost me. You like this? I hate this song.
I don't like this version. I love the movie Across the Universe, which has a really good version of this song.
How do you know movies that I have never heard of in my life?
Well, you would enjoy Across the Universe.
Across the Universe?
Across the Universe is a movie that came out in the 2000s. It's not really a musical, but it uses Beatles songs to essentially tell the story.
What is the story?
It's all about this guy named Jude who moved to New York. He's European. He's just kind of trying to revamp his life as an artist, and he meets all these people named Lucy and all this other stuff. So it's like it's a really cool story. It's all through Vietnam too.
And they use Beatle music? Yep. And they didn't title the movie Hey Jude?
No, because again, it's a little too easy.
How did that be perfect?
Across the
character.
Universe is another song as well, though. So.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Well, it's a line from one of their songs.
I didn't know that. Didn't know that. 842-537-6842 KRN. Let's check the board. What do you got?
Ralph, I'm 66 years old, grew up in Los Angeles, and never heard of Juneteenth about 3 years ago.
I'm trying to select my words carefully. That just says a lot. That's all I'll say. That says a lot. And I'm not surprised. I mean, we are a segregated society. Let's face it. And as much progress as we've made in race, I believe we've taken 3 steps forward and 4 steps back. We've made some advances, quite obviously. We've led the show with honoring the 44th president of the United States, who happens to be a black man. I even heard Terry Maxwell. Let me shut up. Some of the things I hear in the morning are amazing. I just have to stop listening, I suppose. But they were arguing about the fact that he's half white, which is true. But there's a certain reality. And nobody's going to look at Barack Obama and say he's white. Not a cab driver at midnight in New York. Not somebody who was trying to rent an apartment to in Harvard and in Boston when he was a young man. So let's stop playing games, shall we? Ugh. Anyway, what was the question? I remember rambling.
It was just the guy saying there were 60.
Oh, he hadn't heard about Juneteenth. Yeah, well, A, you don't know history because it's a huge part of American history, but it's part black history, so what do you care? So I get it. But it is a gargantuan celebration in the black community, and you'll hear nothing but Juneteenth news all weekend long as we celebrate our freedom. That's all. It's not a big deal. Where am I? What else you got?
The Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool in Washington, D.C. ranges in depth of about 18 inches, 1.5 feet, and its shallow edges to 30 inches, 2.5 feet.
That's good to know. I thought it was deeper than that. So that was an accurate portrayal when Jenny comes running. Force! Jimmy! I didn't have the guts. I've been there at least a dozen times. I've never had the guts to put my foot in and actually test the depth of the waters, but I'm glad somebody Googled it and gave us the information. What else you got?
Let's see. Rhino, watching The View and listening to CNN makes your Republican listeners question you all the time. It's CNN that's reported your black brother as being more popular X.
My black brother. Restate the text.
So it says, watching The View and listening to CNN makes your Republican listeners question you all the time. It's CNN that reported that Barack Obama...
Okay, let's stop before we get to the CNN part.
Okay.
If you question my party affiliation because I watch CNN and The View, you are what I would call stupid. That's about as dumb a thing as I've ever heard. And do you honestly think at 63 years of age, heading into my 23rd year as a lone talk show host, that I give a damn whether my audience thinks I'm a Republican or a Martian or an independent or an Asian or Latino? Do you all really think I care? Do you honestly think I go home at night and go, I wonder if my audience really thinks I'm a Republican? I've been living with this for the entire 21st century. And if you don't think I'm a Republican, okay. You probably think that the First Lady is a man. I mean, how old are you? Do you think I'm the only Republican that watches The View? You think I'm the only Republican that watches CNN? Scott Jennings appears on CNN. Many conservatives appear on CNN. It's about acquiring information. I also watch Fox. I don't know too many Democrats that watch Fox. I also watch MS Now. I also watch the BBC. I also watch 2.5 Men. Does that make me intellectually incompetent? Because about 15 years ago, I would have said it does, because I hated that show and thought it was stupid. Now I'm addicted. You really think you can gauge somebody's political feelings based on what they watch on TV? Does that really sound smart to you? Does it really? It is amazing that you all are adults. Sometimes I swear I feel like I'm sitting here talking and engaging with children, with absolute children. You know, you watch The View, Ralph, and we question your right. I don't give a damn. I don't care. And if you listen to me and listen to this show, specifically because I'm a Republican, I resent that. I'm better than that. I'm not one of these radio talk shows, and there are some like this, whose big claim to fame is that they're conservative. I'm a conservative. I love Trump. I'm a conservative. That's not why I'm here. That's not why I'm successful. You think I'm successful because I'm a Republican? You think I'm successful because I'm conservative? Well, obviously not, because half the audience doesn't believe that. But they still watch. What's the rest of this nonsense? What about the CNN part?
It says CNN reported that Barack Obama as being a more popular ex-president than Donald Trump.
Absolutely true. Go ahead.
Sorry, this last part says there is a huge error in the premature report.
Well, the Heritage Foundation has him ranked at 18th. There are some scales that have Trump at 46, 45. He left the White House, Mr. Obama, with a 60% approval rating, and nobody's done it since. And they all look like you. And the one guy that did it looks like me. 60% approval rating.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has announced a 6-month Pentagon review of American forces in Europe. The review's outcome will depend on how quickly European allies take responsibility for their own security. Hegseth criticized NATO allies on Thursday for not providing access to bases for U.S. forces to launch attacks on Iran. Ukraine has hit a major Moscow oil refinery for the second time in a week, disrupting hundreds of flights at the capital's airports. Russian officials said Thursday that this is one of Ukraine's biggest drone attacks since Russia's invasion over 4 years ago. The attack follows Ukrainian President Zelensky's coordination call with the U.S. and France, securing further support from the G7 summit. More details available at srnnews.com.
It is so different. Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
I'm Chris Davis. You hear people complain that an ambulance ride costs a lot. For a person who took an unauthorized ambulance ride from a hospital in Tulare County Monday all the way to Bakersfield at high speeds until crashing into a tree on Highway 99, the ambulance ride cost that person their freedom. Police have charged that person with theft after the Wednesday incident. August 7th may be the date that former Kern County Detention Officer Patrick McNeil finally faces a judge to determine if his DUI case goes to trial. He's facing 9 felony charges and several misdemeanors after 2 wrecks on the same night. March 16th, police say he was 4 times the legal limit drunk when his van hit 3 parked cars. Cops say he got back out on the road in another car and had another wreck. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Dr. Roland Rodriguez.
Hello, this is Bakersfield General Surgeon Dr. Roland Rodriguez, client and friend of Mr. Paul Sheldon. It is my great pleasure and privilege to relate to all of you my absolute exemplary experience with Team Paul Sheldon. I have also referred a number of my colleagues to Paul Sheldon's office, only to receive the most stellar feedback from my doctor friends regarding the office's expert navigation through the complex maze that is Medicare. And even though Paul Sheldon himself is now facing some temporary health challenges, his longstanding and most experienced and expertly trained team of ladies, Christine, Kelly, and Lynn, continue to masterfully guide the clients through the complicated world of Medicare. You most definitely could not possibly do any better than to reach out to Paul Sheldon several months before turning 65. Thank you.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298. Is the volatility of the stock market driving you crazy? Is your retirement account sinking, yet you're getting older and you're starting to worry about, will I have enough for retirement? What about the money in the bank? These banks pay nothing these days. How do we get growth to get to retirement account? It's simple. Move into gold and silver. Want to know how to do it? Listen to my show, Striking Gold, with me, Kenny Michaels.
251 First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Friday edition of the First Look program, we have the latest. The county's suing the city. There's no other way to put it. It's insane, but we're doing it. We got obviously World Cup news. We've got news, traffic, weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Ahmed Manab Shah just parred the second hole, his 11th hole on the course. He started on 10, where he was 2 over par. He bogeyed the first hole of his back 9, which is the front, so the number 1 hole on the course. And he just parred a 251-yard par 3. 251-yard par 3. Do you understand? I could take everything in my bag and I could not reach that. There was a time where I could probably reach it barely with a driver, but now 251, it'd be a 12 handicap if I could hit a drive 251 yards. Are you kidding me? So we're hoping he's got a par 5, he's got a par 4, he's playing the par 4. Hang on, why did it switch the front on me? How did that just happen? How did that just happen? I don't want shot by shot. I just want the scorecard, but I want the front 9.
Oh.
I don't know how they did this to me. I can't even read it anymore. Well, anyway, oh, here it is. I see what I'm doing. I didn't read it wrong. So he is on, I think he just made birdie. He did make birdie. Am I watching the right guy? Oh, no, I've got the, no wonder. Dadgummit. I punched the wrong guy. Please stand by. Let me get to mine. He just made par on the par 3, the second hole. He's on the par 4, third hole, 497 par 4. I mean, that's a par 5. Well, not for pros. 497 is a par 5 for us, hacks. Not even at a small course. Even BCC's par 5 is longer than that for the blues and the blacks. Then he's got a par 4. Then he's got a par 5. The fifth hole is a par 5. He's got to birdie the fifth hole. You can't walk off a course, particularly when it's par 70. So that's probably the only par 5 on the course, I would imagine. 842-5376, 842-KERN. Let's try to clear the board before we get out of here.
Ralph, the only thing that you watch that makes some of us question your intellect is Love After Lockup.
Now, that was funny. You don't mind Love and Hip Hop Atlanta? You give me a pass on that one? I'm telling you, love after lockup is addicting.
Everybody's got a trash TV show they love. Everybody does.
Everybody does. I don't care. I love that show. I'll be watching it tomorrow night. Oh no, I won't. No, I will not. No, I will not. But normally I'll watch it sometime this weekend on DVR. I mean, it's formulaic. It's like watching the first 5 or 6 episodes of Barstool. Was that what it's called? Barstool? Not Barstool.
You talking about Bar Rescue?
Bar Rescue. Bar Rescue. I mean, it was formulaic. You know what I'm saying? John comes in. They're crappy owners, crappy employees. He screams the hell out of them. He comes back. They make friends. The guy either listens to John or doesn't listen to John. And those are the best episodes when the owner just refuses to adhere to him. You see the one where the woman wanted a pirate theme and he fixed it? And then they give you like a postscript at the end of the thing. And it said, 4 weeks later, Ralph went right back to the Pirates of the Caribbean. And he's losing 32% of his money. Those are the best episodes.
Oh, yeah.
When the owner fights him. Well, that's what Love After Lockup is about. It's formulaic. You know, they're in love a day before he gets out. She jumps into his arms in episode 2. Episode 3, they're in love and they close the door and throw the cameras out. And then episode 4 is when it starts to get interesting. When are you going to get a job? My mama's purse is missing. Oh, what? I did it? Well, baby, you did go away for burglary. And then it's like watching a person in a barrel come tumbling down a hill. It's a wonderful show. I don't know what that says about me. Because I'm the romantic. I'm the guy that likes the movie. Guy meets girl. Guy falls in love with girl. Guy loses girl. Guy gets girl right before the credits roll. Not in Love After Lockup. Gal meets prisoner or guy meets prisoner. They fall in love. He or she gets released. They have a day, maybe 48 hours of honeymoon. And then he either goes back to his criminal ways or he's just lazy. Or in most of the situations, he's got 2 or 3 women sending him money on his books. And he's got to juggle them, and they all find out, and it's just Humpty Dumpty all over again. And again, you're right. I don't know what that says about me. That I guess I kind of like a little romantic drama. I don't know. It says something about me, though. And I've been willing to admit, you've heard me say this constantly, I'm a very strange man. I really am. Only a strange man could lose his phone twice inside of 96 hours. And I apologize. I should have given you, I gave that lady $50. And then I woke, because I was just, dude, I was beside myself. And then I was so freaking elated. I left my phone in an Uber last night. And it took us like an hour and a half to retrieve it. Because to retrieve it, you can retrieve it on somebody else's phone, but you have to know your passcodes to your email or to your Facebook account or your Google. I showed the ladies my list. I'll show you guys. Here is my notes where I keep all my passwords. You see that? Can y'all see that? Can you see that?
You sure you want to show everybody your passwords?
Well, they can't see the words, but you see that? That's just the list. That's just the list right there. And that's just one of the lists. There's another list. There's another one. Former and current passwords. What do you think, they're going to screenshot it?
Yeah.
I don't care. My audience, if there's somebody in my audience that's that devious, it's going to screenshot my phone and try to dig into my Facebook or my Google, because none of my banking stuff is in there. I'm not that stupid showing my banking stuff. But so she helped me out tremendously. Took us like an hour and a half to get in contact with Uber. And then by that, because I couldn't leave. If I went home, I was isolated. Even Chris, and I apologize, dude. Do you have to come back to the studio?
Yeah, but again, I live across the street.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have given you some of that money. I woke up this morning, I was like, I gave that woman $50. 20 would have sufficed. You know what I'm saying? And then it popped up this morning. Do you want to tip her? I was like, no,
she got
a absolutely not. She got a gargantuan tip. That woman better, if she ever Ubers me again, she better jump out of the car and open the door for my ass. Are you kidding? But yeah, I'm just, you know what I deduced last night as I was laying in bed trying to figure out, Ralph, how did you lose your phone twice inside of 96 hours? I'm a careless man. That's really what it is. I'm careless. Like who gets locked out of their own apartment after a Dodger game? Because somebody stole their keys because you put it in a mailbox. Because you're too careless to carry your keys around with you like a grown ass adult. You know what I'm saying? And I think I was talking to Lisa about this. I think that's my golf problem. I'm careless. I don't have a routine. First couple of holes, I'm thinking, get your arms right, be steady, be balanced. And then I hit a couple of good shots, and then I just step up to the ball and just assume what's going to happen. Careless, absolutely careless. That's why I like to compete. That's how I played so well at the end, because I had to play well against Sam, and it makes me concentrate and think. But I'm just a careless, and you know, when you don't have kids and you've never been married, you can live a careless life. You truly can. All I have to do is feed myself, make sure my mother's all right, make sure my nephew has enough to get through college. That's about all my responsibilities. And it's pretty much been designed like that. I think at least I was mature enough and smart enough to realize that I'm too immature and not smart enough to keep a family together. And I couldn't imagine being divorced, particularly having kids. You know, I've dated women, you know, I've gone on kid swaps with women I've dated. And there's nothing sadder. Because by definition, that means that the ex can't even come to the house. There has to be a mutual meeting spot. And that is just so depressing. And how do you co-parent with somebody who many times when there's a breakup, you can't stand? That's why I admire people who break up and they're still able, maybe not to be friends, but at least don't show it in front of the kids, you know, until they're adults and they can handle it. You know what I mean? And I just knew, as a guy who cheated on every girlfriend he ever had till he was about 35 years old, other than Kim Williams when I was in my 20s, I just knew I was never going to be able to keep a marriage together. Just knew it. And I'd rather be single my whole life than paying alimony and child support. Let's go ahead and take our final break. Oh, the day. There's so much that I didn't get to because I've just been rambling. Let's check on Manav Shah, shall we? They're playing slow. Still on the 12th hole. The second hole of the golf course. He's on the third tee is where he is. His 13th hole of the day. He started on the back nine. 3 over par. Let's see where the leaders are. See if Wyndham Clark came back to the field. He did not. He is on 17, or actually 8, because he started on the back as well. But Wyndham Clark is 6 under par. And there's nobody near him. Sam Stevens is at 2. Amateur Ryder Cohen, who was leading the tournament at one point, is at 2. Max McGreevy, Matt Fitzpatrick, Dustin Johnson. Who is Dustin Johnson?
The the son-in-law of Mr. Gretzky, right?
Very nicely done. Who hasn't been on the leaderboard in a long time. Gary Woodland's at 2. John Rahm's at 2. Rory's at 1. Ludwig Adberg is 1.
Did DJ go to live?
I don't think so.
He stayed, right?
Yeah, he didn't need the money.
No, definitely doesn't need the money. Not the
He's
family.
the son-in-law of Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, I doubt
that girl ain't going hungry. Let me just put it that way. Kevin Bartle is chiming in. This ought to be rich. I see him on TV all the time, but he doesn't haunt these studios anymore. Let's see what he's talking about. Play is suspended for the day for darkness. Oh, thank you, sir. Hell yeah, it's almost 9 o'clock on the East Coast. Why am I looking at the leaderboard? Thanks, Bartle. When are you coming on the show? What are we going to stick in the ground? I would love to get in your pocket. Hell, I'd beat you and spend 30 minutes talking about it. Get Holt, and let's get out and play. Quick timeout. And the morning anchor at 17 plays. Anthony something, the kid from LA. Be a fun foursome. Me, you, Ryan Holt, and the little anchor. What's his name? Anthony? Talented kid. And he's from LA. He's an LA boy. Quick timeout. Final break of the night. Keep it locked. Scott Jennings at the top of the hour. Tomorrow's a Friday. Rick Bentley will be here.
No, he won't, actually. I'm sorry. He texted me earlier in the week. He's going to be gone in L.A.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's visiting his son.
Who could we turn to? Any suggestions?
Good question. You want to dig up Hercules?
Oh, would you stop? I knew you were going to say that. Didn't that end badly? Wasn't he pissed at us about something?
But I don't know about badly.
I think he was pissed at us about something.
Because you got mad at him for talking politics.
Oh, yeah. He was famous for that. Quick timeout. Don't go anywhere. Be right back.
Kern Radio.
Yeah, he started bagging
News
on
Talk
Trump.
96.1 and AM 1230. KERN. First Look with...
Hey, man, a return of Hercules might be fun, though.
He could be. Reach out to him.
You have his number? I don't know if I have his contact.
Sure. You don't have it?
I don't think so.
He wasn't on when you produced?
No, he was, but he would always call us. I never had his number.
Oh. I've got it.
Do you? Well, send it to me. I'll reach out to him tomorrow.
All right.
Whenever you're ready, you're set up for the promo.
Three, two. You can call me crazy, you can call me racist, but I think there's a clear reason why a lot of folks don't like Barack Obama. Because the reality is he left the office with a 60% approval rating. Some of the most conservative presidential analysts have him as high as 12th on the all-time list. Barack Obama, whom I never voted for, and I don't think did a whole lot for the black community, was a decent president given the fact that he was the Jackie Robinson of politics. 3, 2, it's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Friday TRBS. Well, once again, all my regulars have abandoned me, but we'll talk a little entertainment nevertheless. We're still monitoring the progress of Manav Shah in the 126th U.S. Open, plus me at 3. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 AM 1230. I'll see you at 3.
Let's put it together and hope that it closes escrow. Nothing's 100%, but we do stack it in your favor.
With any needs or questions with real estate, give us a call at 661-410-7355 or visit our website at www.teambusby.com.
Warmer weather is finally here, and that means cookouts,
ball games,
and maybe enjoying some time on the water.
But it also means lots of heavy foods, sweets, and maybe an extra adult beverage or two. Thank goodness we both take Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All the things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to protect normal liver liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted natural ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke extract, it's gentle enough to take all year long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Active Liver helps us enjoy the good things in life with peace of mind that our liver isn't working overtime. Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com, and you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
I'll never make it alone. Believe me when I beg you, don't ever leave me alone.
Do you know who is the excuse me, I've got enough gas. Drive all the way down to Lawson's. Do you know who is the CEO of the Obama Presidential Center, which opens tomorrow officially for the public on Juneteenth? Is tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow's Juneteenth. Do you know? No, you don't know.
I do not.
Valerie Jarrett. Why do I bring up Valerie Jarrett? Well, I don't mean to close on a negative note, but this whole Michelle Obama thing still has me livid. And I bring up Valerie Jarrett because you may remember, or maybe you don't, during the Obama administration, one Roseanne Barr got up and said that Valerie Jarrett looked like a monkey. That's what she said. And now we've got people professing that the First Lady is a man. Anybody see any theme here? Oh, and don't forget about the fact that the president put Mr. and Mrs. Obama's heads on the top of an ape. And you really don't see a theme here? You really don't? Joan Rivers calling Michelle transgender back in the 90s. And while they were in office, a comedian was calling another woman a monkey. And a man on the White House lawn disgraces one of the 45 women that served in that White House. And that's all right with y'all, huh? All right. It is what a TI is, I suppose, and the division only gets wider. It only gets wider. And I just don't understand it. And I didn't say whiter, I said wider with a D. To read a couple of text messages, and I think I'm going to take a shot at Lawson's tonight.
Are you really?
I think so.
It's actually cooler today.
It's much cooler. What I mean, took a shot because I got robbed. It wasn't rib night that night.
True.
So I don't know what they're having tonight. I ended up eating that nasty teriyaki beef, which wasn't really teriyaki. I can't believe you don't like teriyaki.
I'm just not a huge fan.
Because every time I think of teriyaki, I think of Mrs. Tempero's tea cakes. This is Tempero. My best friend's in high school's mom is South Korean. I've told you the story. It was literally their marriage. John's parents' marriage was a MASH episode. It really was. He was a physician in Korea. He met a beautiful South Korean woman, and she was Hakju was beautiful. And he brought her back to the States, and it was a hassle. He talked about that. And then they both went off and became chefs and went to the Sorbonne. And it was the first time in 10th grade I was spending the night at Temp's house and had fettuccine for the first time. And I was like, this is unbelievable. And she served the green noodles without the sauce. I didn't have fettuccine Alfredo until I went to college. I thought all fettuccine had no sauce. She made it with the green noodles, and God, it was so. And she would make these tea cakes. That's what caused this reminiscing. The teriyaki chicken it was shaped like a Hershey's Kiss, but it was white dough, and you bite into it, and it had like a cherry sweet teriyaki meat in the middle of it. Oh, some of the best stuff I've ever had in my life. You eat like 2 or 3 of those things in one sitting. What else you got?
Someone has texted and chimed in, said that he did go to Live, talking about DJ.
DJ did go to Live? God, that's amazing. I'm just surprised. Because I'm sure Wayne did not advise him. Or maybe Wayne did. Maybe Wayne was like, look, you got to take care of my baby. Go get that $400 million. Shoot.
Possible.
I'm not willing anything to you, my brother.
Well, and DJ did. Well, I don't know if DJ did, but a lot of them did say that they made the decision based on family, just being able to hang out with them more, not having to work as much.
True that. And I think DJ, up until now, because he's competing, wasn't really competing back then, not for majors. But
He's
now
a big name.
He's a huge name. He's a Masters champion. He was almost a U.S. Open champion. Remember when he grounded his club in Wisconsin? When they had those, there are courses that have like, I forget what they're called. What do they call those long bunkers that you can actually ground your club in? Those are, I forget the name. They have one at River Lakes.
I can't remember.
On the 10th, 11th hole, after you go through the tunnel and you come up, there's one of those bunkers right there. They're like fairway long bunkers, and there's a name for it. And in those bunkers, you can actually ground your club. They're not like greenside bunkers. Well, they played on a course in Wisconsin, which had like a lot of natural bunkers and then real bunkers. And Dustin Johnson couldn't tell the difference, and he grounded his club in one of them in the middle of his round, and he was leading to win the championship. And they didn't tell him. I can't remember whether they interrupted his round and told him that he was penalized, or they told him afterwards when he thought he was the leader. I think it was afterwards, because however they did it badly.
Yeah,
I think he thought he was the winner, and they came back and told him,
"Oh, you got
penalized back on 14."
Waist area, by the way.
Waist area. That's one of the names, but yeah. A waist bunker. Yeah.
Waist bunker. Yeah, is the other thing I'm seeing here on Google.
Yeah. Where you can actually ground your club. But he mistook a bunker for a waist bunker, and he got penalized and lost the U.S. Open for it. But he's a big time player. And I like his chances this weekend. I think he's going to contend, because I honestly think there'll just be a handful of guys under par. 2, 3, 4 could win this thing. Wyndham Clark is at 6, but believe me, he'll come back to the field. In the meantime, I want to thank my friend Kate, who hooked us up with gubernatorial candidate Steve Hilton. And of course, we welcome back Mr. Michael Turnipseed from vacation, and our good friend Daniel Petrie, and Jim Park for taking the time, the BCC head pro, rooting on our good friend Manav Shah. But in the meantime, for Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. That's what's really going on, and I will wrap you tomorrow.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN. 96.1 FM, K241CI Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
Or from Town Hall, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Vice President J.D. Vance spoke for the administration this afternoon, praising the deal reached with Iran. Vance says the memorandum of understanding with Iran is already having an impact on their military action.
On the military side, the Iranians, for the second night in a row, did not shoot at any ships in the Strait of Hormuz. So far, they are honoring their end of the commitment. And on the blockade, CENTCOM has allowed north of a dozen ships to go through our naval blockade, and so we're also honoring our end of the early part of the agreement.
And he says the friendly nations in the Gulf region have responded well to the deal.
The Gulf Coast Coalition loves this deal because they think that it makes Iran weaker. They hated the Obama deal because they thought that it made Iran stronger. They know more about this, and they have more to lose than anybody, including the United States of America, so I trust their judgment.
Trump administration envoy told U.S. lawmakers in a private briefing that Iran will invite the UN's nuclear watchdog